It's the Thrifty Foods 125th Annual Victoria Day Parade with your hosts Stacey Ross and Paul Haysom, along with a couple of Upside guys, live from our provincial capital.
Good morning and happy Victoria Day. Welcome to CHEK's live coverage of the Thrifty Foods 125th Victoria Day Parade. I'm Stacey Ross here with my friend Paul Haysom. It's going to be an amazing parade, Paul.
I'm ready to parade. Yes, hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful day. We saw the stage's dance crew there. They're warming everyone up, although a bit of breaking news. I saw some sunshine. I know a lot of concern about the weather right now, but I saw some sunshine. There's the stage's crew. They're kicking things off. There's going to be 100 entries in this stunning parade, about 4,000 participants, and lots of people lining the streets, some of which will have some ponchos and parkas on, but that's okay, right?
It is. And, you know, I was looking down Douglas Street, the main part of the parade route here, about half an hour ago, and I'm like, there aren't a lot of folks here, but I swear in the last 10 minutes, it is packed. There are thousands along the parade route. And, you know, we've got a wonderful broadcast in store for you today, but before we begin, we want to acknowledge a very specific group. We want to honor the Filipino community at this parade this year.
Yeah, we want to extend our condolences after the tragedy at the Lapu Lapu Day Festival in Vancouver. We're going to have much more on the Filipino contingent. They're going to be walking in the parade. It's obviously going to be an emotional moment, but we just wanted to acknowledge them today.
Absolutely. And of course, we also want to acknowledge that CHEK broadcasts on the land of the Lekwungen-speaking people, and it's with gratitude that we are here, courtesy of the Wasanik, Esquimalt, and Songhees nations, whose relationship with this land continues to this day. Thank you.
Yes, thank you indeed. And thank you again for joining us. It's not just Stacey and I. We've got a couple of Upside guys hanging out at the staging area, Ed and Jeff, and it looks like you guys are going to be marshalling this thing.
Well, it looks like it, but that's not the case. They've got somebody much more important than us to do that job, Paul. But yeah, beautiful day. I mean, I just consulted my weather rock, and it's dry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it going to stay dry till throughout?
As far as the rock is concerned, for now, yes.
Well,
that's the hope.
One of my favorite mornings, days of the year, and hard to believe it's the 125th. I love seeing the kids watching the parade go by of all ages. So a real important day. We're so proud at CHEK to be able to bring you a broadcast such as this, and that's really why we're around.
Well, really, and which we have for years and years, and it's an important bit of broadcasting here. People love to watch us at home. So if you're watching online or at home, we thank you for that. I can tell you this from where we are here at Douglas and Finlayson, our look straight up Douglas is just an absolute stream of people on both sides. So we got a great turnout as always for the parade this year, and it's going to be outstanding.
Yeah, and I've been part of it for a lot of years, as you have as well, but there's a guy that we're going to introduce you to right now that's been here since the 1990s, and it's our friend Kenny Podmore. Let's go and say hi to Kenny.
Kenny has put in a lot more years than us.
Yeah, Kenny, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you both.
Is it a little bittersweet here today for you, Kenny? A little emotional?
Yes, there's a certain element of emotion here. In a way, it's quite sad. I'm going to miss all these beautiful people, and of course you too.
Well, our town crier, and it is your final year of doing the parade. We're so happy to call you a friend, and you're so recognizable for starting this parade each and every year.
Yes, and I must pay tribute to my dear friend Bob Alexander.
Yes.
My mentor Bob led it for years and years, so we did it together. So yeah, tribute to Bob as well.
Yeah, we talked about Bob a little earlier, Jeff and I, about how many years he put in here as well. Great guy, Bob. He's probably watching at home today with his wife Norma. So we'll say hi to Bob and Norma, and we'll say congratulations to you on what's been a stunning career, and almost more importantly is in the charity work and the good work you've done, particularly in Sydney. You've taken on so many causes there, and it's spearheaded drives to help people out in the Sydney area. You got to feel good about that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Anything that came up, you were the first to
Well, you
to
know,
come to the
be
table.
accepted into another country is quite amazing. So it's my way of giving back, and I shall continue to do some other stuff. Yeah, I'm not completely retired.
Well, I've been doing it a few weeks from now, doing the Upside with you, but let's do what you do. Let's get this parade rolling, Kenny.
Okay, I'm going to the middle there.
125th Thrifty Foods Victoria Day Parade begin!
There he is. He knows what he's doing there.
The fabulous Kenny Podmore, he really does, and he takes such pride in doing it, and he just does it better than anybody. He really he loves it, and he's going to get in his convertible now for his last ride down Douglas as the town crier for the 125th Thrifty Foods Victoria Day Parade. There he goes.
An emotional day for Kenny, who's, as you mentioned, done so many great things in our community, and just a wonderful man for sure. Over 100 floats and entries in this year's parade, and we thought we were the only dinosaurs that were going to be part of the parade, but that's not the case.
No, you spent some time at the Dino Lab here recently, and let's take a look at that.
All right. We are here in James Bay as we get set for the 125th Victoria Day Parade. We're at Dino Lab. This is Kayleen, and this is a new take on high tea here in Victoria.
I would say so, Jeff. Behind us here, we have a Triceratops and a Tyrannosaurus Rex trying to sort out their differences from tens of millions of years ago.
What a lot of people may not know is these are real dinosaur bones.
They absolutely are. About 25 to 30% real for both of these specimens behind us.
Yeah.
There's no shortage of T-Rexes here at Dino Lab. For a relatively short time, we're lucky enough to also have Victoria, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, back here in her namesake city.
So Ed and I won't be the only two dinosaurs in the parade. Dino Lab will have a great parade contingent as well in the Victoria Day Parade.
You have got it. We've got our whole host of inflatable dancing dinosaurs ready to bust out some of their best dance moves. We love getting together as a staff with our families, with our friends, with some of our long-term guests and supporters too. It gives us the chance to bond over these incredible creatures as well as celebrate the city that we all get to call home.
So what sets Dino Lab apart from other tours is that you're interactive. In fact, you can climb right in here and get close to a
Triceratops.
Right.
This is part of the skull of a subadult Triceratops by the name of Dozer. So you've got the teeth, you've got this beautiful beak, you've got a nose horn. This is where that eyeball would have been. And this is a specimen that is currently being worked on by our crew here at Dino Lab. You know what? You do have the lab coat on.
I do.
Would you like to try your hand at some fossil restoration?
Probably should get to work.
Let's make it happen.
Okay.
We're here in the prep lab at Dino Lab, and this is something that we do on most of our tours or birthday parties or school groups. We invite our guests in to sit down and try your hand at being the fossil tech. Treat it with respect, treat it with love, and you'll be A-okay.
Like this?
You got it.
How'd I do?
You know, Jeff, I think you're ready for a job here.
Yes, finally, a career I'm suited for. Come check out Dino Lab in James Bay. It's right in our own backyard. It is so cool. Kayleen is a great host, and you can see Kayleen and all the great staff from Dino Lab at the 125th Victoria Day Parade. Yeah, a lot of fun at Dino Lab. Bit of a hidden gem in our community. If you've not been there, get out there and check it out. We have, around the world they don't have those types of dinosaurs and those types of bones. So to go and check that out here in Victoria is really special for sure. Yeah.
Well, speaking of old bones, we're going to move our old bones just down the road a little bit here and talk to some people that are involved in the parade. One of over 95 floats that are a part of the 125th Victoria Day Parade. We've got some good ones lined up to tell you about in the show. So that is all coming up. But for now, we'll throw it back to Paul and Stacey.
Hey, thanks so much, guys. Of course, you guys are in the center of the action right now in the marshalling area. We are located right across from Victoria City Hall, right across from the judges' table and the bandstand. So in about 20 minutes' time, we will get the parade. We will see every float, every band, every entry as they come past the judges' area. And, the action has been going on for a little while here, right where we're located on Douglas Street. We've just seen the Douglas Mile.
That's right.
In support of the Parkinson's Wellness Groups. They run right before the parade, raising money for the great great cause. Stephanie Greaves, who is so well known in this town, did a few songs for the folks at Burnside at Douglas. And so far, 210 registrations in that run this morning. They've raised more than $70,000. So good on everybody who ran bright and early this morning in the Douglas Mile.
Yeah, good on them for sure. And we just want to say a big thank you to all our sponsors who make this happen. We want to bring the full parade to you, and it's because of these great sponsors that we can do that. Thrifty Foods, Downtown Dental, Victoria, Dodds Furniture, along with Totem Towing and Sunbelt Rentals. A huge thank you for making this happen. Truly, it's the reason we're able to parade today, Stace.
It sure is. So the countdown is on before we see Kenny Podmore. And oh my gosh, what a great day it's going to be for him. Bittersweet, I'm sure, for him. Can't wait to see him. They should be passing behind us.
That was pretty cool, though, when he officially opened it. And we are going to be showing you parts of the parade in about 15 minutes' time. Right now, we're just going to take a very short break. And here's a marching memory presented by Helijet.
Now for your marching memories, brought to you by Helijet.
Meet Georgina Bandoian, dressed as a flower girl in the May Day parade years ago. She's not sure of the date this was taken, but she is sure she loved that dress and remembering this little moment of magic.
This photo from the early 1960s shows John D. Elliott on the right riding his horse, Flame. He was part of a horse club that joined the Victoria Day Parade every year. A few years later, his son Bruce got in on the action, dressed as a clown, wheelbarrow and shovel in hand, cleaning up after the horses. His pay? $2 and a front row seat to memories that still make him smile.
Paula Aldis sent us this photo, which captures the moment when her mom was crowned James Bay Teen Queen during the parade in 1949.
In 1925, Grace McCrimmon proudly rode on a float celebrating the grand opening of the Crystal Garden Pool. A photo captures her in that moment, smiling and part of a historic day in the city's story.
Now for your marching moment, brought to you by Helijet. In the 1928 parade, one of the highlighted floats was the exhibit of Tyler's Goat Dairy, Lake Hill. It showed 5 goats in a pen. The display stressed goat's milk for health.
Hi there. Welcome back to CHEK's live coverage of the Thrifty Foods 125th Victoria Day Parade. Now, 125 years. That's an incredible legacy.
Amazing.
The first parade here in 1898, and things look much different in downtown Victoria here in 1898.
A few
Paul.
horses and buggies making their way back 125 years ago. But you can see in that shot, that overhead shot there, Marcus is on our bucket camera there. You can see the lines of people. They're starting to come out. They're ready to watch a fantastic parade. And this Stages team, they've been going nonstop for about 30-40 minutes. They look good. And again, this parade's going to be making its way to us in about 15 minutes time. We will bring that to you in full. But right now, we're going to throw things back over to our upside guys. And we've been telling them to clean up their act for so long. And it turns out they took that personally and they jumped into a bathtub. Fellas.
Yeah, we did. Rub-a-dub-tub.
That's
Here we
right.
are.
I don't think there's enough water in here for us to clean up our acts. I don't think that's going to happen. But one of the great events each and every summer, the Nanaimo bathtub races. Matt joins us right now. You hauled this rub-a-dub tub down this morning.
Yeah, it was a little rainy when we left, but it looks like it's going to clear and stay dry for the parade.
You just pulled the plug out to drain it out on the way down, didn't you?
Yeah, hit the bilge and
There you go.
drained it on the way down.
Yeah. Tell us about the date this year and just, what the bathtub races mean to the community of Nanaimo.
We've been coming up on 60 years racing now, so it means a lot to us. Now that we have this thing in ship shape, goes out in the water every year with us. The race is on July 27th this year. It'll be a Sunday. It'll start at 11 o'clock. There's festivals all weekend long. Kickoff party on the Friday. And yeah, I've raced for quite some time and it's been fun, but you never know on Sunday what the weather's going to do. So
yeah, I was going to say, it gets pretty bouncy out there from what I've seen.
It can get pretty rough out there, but it can also be calm as glass. Right. It all depends on what the weather wants to do.
Yeah.
Well, we want to say hi to the Navy League cadets that are up here with us, so let's get a big wave out of all of you guys. You're on TV. There they are, the Navy League cadets.
They're there. They'll be riding in the tub along with Matt, who'll be down at the helm. And is this your towing company then, Matt?
Not my towing company, but I work for them, and I've been working for them for a while. I tow for all the parades. So.
Okay. Well, listen, great to see you. Great to have you. Are you racing this year coming up?
No, I'll be on the escort boat, though. My tub will be racing, but I'll be on the escort boat. Awesome. Yeah.
Well, thanks for what you do, and the date again for the tub races?
July 27th.
July 27th, a real gem on the island each and every year. And so are the penny farthing bicycles as part of this parade.
Yeah, and I think you actually were able to climb on one somehow, even with a little bit of a boost, I think, right?
I climbed on, but I did not stay on.
Okay.
Let's have a look. Well, we're moments away from the 125th Victoria Day Parade, and one of the most famous entries are these machines right here. This is Will Arnold, this is Michael Forbes, and first of all, I'll start with you, Will. Penny farthings, is that the real name?
The real name was actually an ordinary,
right?
When they first developed them back in the 1878, and then after the safeties came out, what you see today, that new design, they called them a penny farthing after the English currency.
Anything but ordinary, Michael. You've been doing the parade for 11 years. Talk about, what these bikes mean to the kids, and they light up when they see you guys riding by.
Oh boy, if you want to feel like a rock star, just ride one of these things. Yeah. We're mobbed at the end, and people want to take pictures with us, and they want to actually get up there and sit on it, because they really are unique, and there's only a few of them on Vancouver Island. They were only around for, a half a dozen years in the 1880s?
Yeah, 12 years.
And then they realized that they were death machines. So they decided it wasn't very wise.
We were thinking of trying this, but after you calling it that, I'm not too sure.
Parade Day, we look forward to it every year. And what's really neat is the energy changes as you go down the route. And as soon as you get to City Hall there, it's like a rock concert.
I bet.
The energy is incredible. I have 11 penny farthings. 3 of them were original. These ones are about 1995. And the reason I use these ones in the parade is it's easier to do tricks on.
Oh, okay.
So when we stand on the seat and things like that, on the originals, it's very hard to do that.
The thing that I have to warn you about, Jeff, is that if you try it, they didn't really have a term for it, but it was like an atomic wedgie that you would get. And I just have a couple of tools that they used back in the day. So once you get off, it is quite a procedure, so just be forewarned.
Okay, all right. Well, could we demonstrate on Will maybe first, just to see how this thing's done?
So you ready to try it?
I guess so.
Should we give it a horn?
Oh, I can work the horn.
The good news is you can go up to about 3 feet into the Pacific Ocean and you still won't get your feet wet.
Both hands on the handlebar. Okay, and we're gonna push off.
Oh, look at that.
There you go.
Whoa.
See that? Just let it flow.
Check out the penny farthing, boys. The 125th Victoria Day Parade. I'm getting off of this thing. I'm scared. Well, there you go. So
I guess you don't make training wheels for those,
And that's what I had asked for, was the training wheels, but I literally was shaking when I was up on that. So Michael and everyone that's out on the penny farthings, good on them. Tess Van Straten actually rode it a couple of years ago in the parade, and she was graceful and fantastic at it, but me not so much.
Is there nothing she can't do?
I don't think so. She does it all.
She does it all.
That's
well, and
sure.
you forget about how high those bikes are.
Right.
I mean, there's a little bit of elevation there.
Well,
so.
to get off of it, and last year one of them had a flat, so we had to push the bike, the whole way. So the kids light up when they see the penny farthings come by, and so do I now, maybe a little for different reasons than before.
Yeah. Well, you did well to stay on as long as you did there, cowboy. Doesn't quite make the 8 seconds.
No, I did
exactly. All right, we've got more to come here from the marshalling area here for the 125th Thrifty Foods Victoria Day Parade. We're going to meet some talented musicians and another great-looking float here coming up when we come back. But let's go back to Paul and Stacy and see what's happening up there.
Cannot wait for that. Thank you, Ed. And were you shaky? Jeff couldn't really tell there.
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah, look good.
Amazing. Well, we'll check back in with you guys in a few minutes, and we're probably only about 10 minutes away, or even less than that, from the parade reaching our location.
The countdown is on, yes.
Here at City Hall, and we're so grateful for so many people to allow us to do this. We got Joel Properties. Thank you so much for your location assistance today as we watch the Great Stages Dance Group, headed by Kim Breland once again this year, entertaining the crowds. Marshalling the parade, of course, the local Lions Club.
Yes.
Big thanks to them. And also to Base Commander Captain Kevin Whiteside and Base Chief CP1 Sue Frisbee. They're attending in the reviewing stand there. They're waiting for lots of great entries to come along. About 95 to 100 entries this year, Paul.
Yeah, and about 4,000 people, which is amazing when you consider how tough it is just to wrangle 3 or 4 friends on a weekend. 4,000 people. So, again, shout out to Kelly Curta and the entire parade team. It just really... This thing sings, and it's because of them. So
absolutely, the Greater Victoria Festival Society, integral. And you know what? We've got so much more parade coverage. We are anxiously awaiting the parade to reach our location here. We will be back in just a moment, but first, another look at some marching memories. Enjoy. Let's look at some marching memories, brought to you by Helijet.
In this 1952 Victoria Day Parade photo, you'll spot a young woman standing just behind the girls in front. That's Kathleen Hall. She was 21, working at the Old England Inn in Esquimalt. The girls ahead are the Lane's daughters, owners of the inn. This moment, frozen in time, holds the spirit of a community and the quiet pride of a young woman making her own history.
Here's a snapshot of Parade Day magic from around 1963. Right in front, that's Roxana Reed, proudly twirling as a majorette. She lit up the Victoria Day Parade for several years with sparkle, rhythm, and high kicks. The crowd cheered, the drums boomed, and Roxana brought the fun one baton toss at a time.
Lance Angers, manager of an A&W, snapped this photo in 1972. He spotted these two icons and asked for a quick pic. Luckily for him, they said yes.
Now for your marching moment, brought to you by Helijet. The Victoria Day Parade in 1948 saw record temperatures, a 20-year high of 25.5 degrees Celsius at the old Gonzales Weather Station. Parade route temperatures would run about 7 degrees higher.
Hello and welcome back to the Thrifty Foods 125th Victoria Day Parade. We're getting very close to the parade coming by here at the judging station right across from City Hall. I gotta say, Stacy, on my drive in, I was getting excited about a few different things, and as I was driving in, I saw an entire band, a marching band, walking from a hotel to the staging area. They are ready to go. What are you most looking forward to today?
Oh, I love the bands, you know, I really do. And things are not great between Canada and the U.S. right now, and I am so grateful that so many of these wonderful high school bands have felt comfortable enough to make the trip here, and Canadians, Vancouver Islanders are opening their arms and welcoming them, and we're so glad to have them. I think we've had, there's more bands here this year than I think there have been in a long, long time, and and I can't wait. They're one of my favorite parts, but I also love the history.
Yes.
I love the antique fire trucks,
Cool.
and of course the horse-drawn old fire carriage, and those are my favorites. What about you?
I love the marching bands as well. I really, you mentioned some of the marching bands. Ballard High School, they sound fantastic. I heard them warming up. I love these stilt walkers, and like you said, just the community involvement. There's so many. Some are big community organizations, some are smaller ones, but they just want to be involved in the parade, and that to me is so cool. And what's really cool is just being here and seeing these families walk by, and you can see them on the side of the street here on this shot as well. Just kids, families, they're so excited to watch a parade, and I guess I'm excited too, so it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
It is, and it's a family tradition for a lot of people.
It is,
it's what they do every year. And I was driving in about 7 this morning, and I saw people putting up their tents. They had their RVs pulled over to the sides of Douglas Street here. And
ready to roll.
It's ready to roll. And my other favorite thing is the culture.
Yes.
We are so culturally diverse, luckily enough, here on Vancouver Island, and huge contingents of different cultural associations turn out every single year. There's so much color and music, and I just love that part. And you know what? Speaking of culture, in the tent behind us here in the judges area, we've got the Morioka delegation here.
Yes.
A VIP section of special visitors from our sister city in Japan. And we've been Twin Cities since 1985, so they've been here many, many times before.
They did a tour of CHEK actually
They
this
sure
weekend,
did.
and we were so glad they did. So what a cool connection that is.
It
as
is.
well.
It's the 40th anniversary of our affiliation, so glad they're here sitting across from us. And we're also glad that Ed and Jeff are here. And I hear that, speaking of music, they've got a little musical interlude to share with us.
Yeah, we do,
Okay.
Stacey and Paul. Look at this.
That's not
This
what I
is,
was expecting.
How about that? This is the Ford Fiddler that they're driving. The BC Fiddle Orchestra is here for the first time in the parade. Daniel Lapp heads this group up, and you have for a long time.
Yeah. We started during the Commonwealth Games. The opening ceremonies in '94.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is our 31st year.
Well, you're so well.
Count.
Yeah, you're so well known in our community and such a great talent. Tell us about Woodbox Records. What's that all about?
Yeah, the Woodbox is a new endeavor. It's a record label. We're releasing, preserving BC fiddle music. So we're going back to like some old kitchen tapes and releasing those.
Oh,
and
wow.
we just released an album of a 13-year-old wonder kid who's part of our group here a month ago. So it's a range of BC fiddle history.
Well, the kids are excited. When we first talked to them this morning about being on, they couldn't be more excited. So they're enthusiastic, just as you need orchestra kids to be.
Yeah, they're a great bunch, and they're going to be here rain or shine. But look at this, it's starting to lighten up.
Yeah, Ed made a long distance call, and he got things turned around a little bit. What are you going to play for us, Daniel?
Well, I think we'll play a little Joys of Quebec.
All right.
To kick things off, good old Canadian tune.
Good stuff. Take it away, Daniel Lapp, Woodbox Records. Here we go.
The BC Fiddle Orchestra.
You know what I want to do right now. You know what I want to do.
I know, and before
I want
we
to grab
start...
a set of spoons.
Oh, and sit in.
And sit in.
Yeah, your spoons in your other pants.
They're in
just
my
like
other
your
pants.
wallet.
I forgot. That's for sure. But I had a really great time with the Shriners a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, this was a fun game we had there. I think you're going to enjoy this. So we're going to be back with the BC Fiddle Orchestra in a minute, but take a look at this first up. Here we go.
We are getting set for the 125th Victoria Day Parade, and a huge part of that is the Victoria Shrine Clown Unit. My buddy Speedy.
Hi there.
I mean, I'm usually the clown on the show. Glad to have you here. Tell us about the Shriners and the great work you do.
Well, the Shriners is a great organization. The Clown Unit is a division of the Shriners, which is a division of the Masonic Lodge. What we do is we're the fun guys. We raise money for the hospitals, and we support the parades and the communities. We do a lot of work for sick children. If you have a child that has a bone disease or a burn, we pay 100% of the cost to get that child to a hospital, and we cover the cost of the family to go to.
You're not only fundraising, but you're bringing smiles to faces, especially during the parades. Walk us through some of these vehicles, because that's what the kids love to see.
So the old Loki's been around since 1957. The number 9 stands for the first Shriner Club in Victoria was number 9. Later on added the caboose on it for the parades. We've now added some vehicles for the boys to ride around in the parades and have fun. Anything that'll move, we'll put a clown on it and let's get going.
Can I drive?
First, we got to make you look like an honorary clown. Quackers!
Are you qualified to be a shrine clown?
Probably not.
Have you got a sense of humor?
Slightly.
Let's get you suited up.
All right, let's do this,
Come on with
Quackers.
me.
All right, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Jelly Bean. Jelly Bean, welcome to the Shrine Clown Unit. Thanks very much, Quackers. Well, I mean, I look like a clown, but I don't know how to act like a clown. How are you at juggling? I used to juggle a few girlfriends back in high school. Let's see how you are at juggling. Okay. Balloon making. Yes. Okay. We're gonna make a puppy. We got a nose, a couple ears. You make it look so darn easy, Quackers. Ta-da! Well, I can't make balloon animals, but I can drive. Can I drive? Can I drive? You got a license, Jelly Bean? I do. Well, let's give it a shot. Yay! Hop on. All right. There's your horn. There's your brake. Fellas, I love what you do. You Shriners are dynamite. We'll see all of you at the 125th Victoria Day Parade. I'm out of here. Woo!
Well, that's it. You've got a career in politics, I think. Man, that was outstanding.
How much fun did I have that day? And I'd love to buy one of those little rigs. I'd love to have one of those at home just to drive around.
Well, but I think you got to join the club. I think you got to be a Shriner. You know, you just can't sort of walk in and take over one of the vehicles. But you know, you were good enough to, I think, to be considered right out of the gate there, Jelly Bean.
Changed my middle name to Jelly Bean.
Yeah.
Great work by the Shriners in our community. So they're so much fun in the parade, but it's what they do behind the scenes that's so important. We got some. We had the old cars.
Yeah, the
beside us.
classic cars just went through
sort of
here.
went by. But what I'm going to do is get into the old CHEK mobile, into the Upside mobile, and I'm going to head to where Paul and Stacey are down at City Hall. I'm going to be doing some roving reporting, and you are going to.
I'm going to join the rest of the CHEK crew here with our all-Canadian themed float. So I'll be just roaming out of this and getting into it. No, not here on the parade route, thankfully. But I will go do that in the privacy of my car and get some all-Canadian gear on and get ready to be a part of the 125th Victoria Day Parade, brought to you by Thrifty Foods.
Yeah, enjoy the parade, my friends. I'll be talking to you from the parade route in just a little bit, and we'll throw it back to our amazing hosts, Paul and Stacey. Let's make it a good one, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jelly Bean.
Jelly Bean, you'll always be Jelly Bean to me. From this moment going forward, Jeff, there's no two ways about it.
I appreciate that.
You know what, guys, where we are, I mean, Paul, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's definitely a different energy in the crowd now. I think they might even be able to start seeing the parade making its way up Douglas Street here towards our location. And we want to thank Joan Wallace and the Joan Wallace Roving Cam for giving us some more great eye-in-the-sky pictures. It's going to be wonderful. We've got complete coverage for you. There you can see the crowds lining the street, thousands and thousands of people turning out once again today to celebrate the 125th year of this glorious parade.
Oh, it's going to be a doozy. Yeah, we're just a few moments away. We're going to take one more final break. Again, just a quick shout out and thank you to all our incredible sponsors, Thrifty Foods, Downtown Dental, Dodd's Furniture, and of course Totem Towing and Sunbelt Rentals. But we are going to take another marching memory down memory lane. Did that make sense? Not sure. Take a look.
Let's look at some marching memories brought to you by Helijet. Michelle recalls attending the Victoria Day parades with her family starting in the early 1960s. They would sit in front of Dairy Queen with a perfect view, thanks to her uncle who owned Vic's Auto Repairs. It became a tradition. Michelle's fondest memory, the dilly bars, which she's convinced sparked her lifelong craving.
Gail Pohl sent us this image, which shows her mother Patricia Fleming on the BC Electric float in the 1940s. Pat graduated from Oak Bay High in 1947 and was later honored in the school's Sports Hall of Fame for her achievements in track and high jump, a memorable parade moment captured in time.
About 30 years ago, a stunning live flower float was created for Victoria AM, crafted with 30,000 fresh blooms. Carefully refrigerated, the float wowed crowds not just at the Victoria Day Parade, but also in the Oak Bay, Esquimalt, and Souk parades that same year. Hi there, and welcome back to CHEK's live coverage of the Thrifty Foods 125th Victoria Day Parade. You can see the banner. They're coming. They're right here, just passing behind us at our location here on Douglas Street, just by City Hall here. So the parade is officially underway. It's my great pleasure to welcome retired Lieutenant Commander Jerry Pash to our anchor desk here today. Jerry is the knowledge keeper of all things military, and he's going to lead us through our really impressive military contingent, traditionally leading off the Victoria Day
And there we
Parade.
see Kenny Podmore going behind us, the town crier there. He's making it happen, leading things off. And Jerry, what's parade day? Why is it important for you?
Well, I marched in this parade way back in the 60s as an Army cadet, when it actually used to marshal at Royal Athletic Park.
Wow. Okay, that's very cool. And there we have some marching happening behind us. We're getting some great overhead shots here. And what are we looking at right now,
Well,
Jerry?
it's tradition in Commonwealth countries for senior service to lead national parades in recognition that since the 15th century there was a standing Royal Navy while the Army formations were temporary. This year, the parade is led by a massed band comprised of the Naden Band of the Royal Canadian Navy, 5th BC Field Regiment, the Royal Canadian Artillery, and the Canadian Scottish. But let's listen for just a bit.
I love it.
All three bands share a century and a half of service to Canada and Greater Victoria, having built a profound military as well as a musical legacy. For instance, in 1941, 23 of the 45 founding members of the Victoria Symphony were Naden band members.
All right, let's have a listen in. This sounds great.
We have members of the Royal Canadian Air Cadets on screen right now. And the cadet program in Canada is sponsored by the Canadian Forces and the Civilian Army, Navy, and Army Cadet and Air Cadet Leagues.
You've been heavily involved with the cadets, Jerry, in your career.
Well, yes, I was a cadet, of course, as a teenager. I became a cadet leader in 1961 and came back into the program in the 80s, and things went on from there, of course. I've worn all 6 of Her Majesty's uniforms.
Wow.
Army, Navy, Air Force, RCMP Auxiliary, and judge's robes as a citizenship judge.
Well, Jerry, thank you so much for your service, first and foremost, and really thank you for that. But when you do see those cadets and some of those younger faces, how important is that?
Well, the aim of the cadet program is to instill in youth the attributes of good citizenship, leadership, promote physical fitness, and stimulate an interest in the sea, land, and air activities of the Canadian Forces. And when you think about it, every Canadian should think about those kinds of things.
For sure.
Be good citizens. What does this country ask of us? This country only asks of us 6 things.
Okay.
Obey the law, accept jury duty if you're asked, contribute as you're able to make your community better, and protect the environment. That's it. That's
I like that.
all that we're asked to do for this great country.
And Jerry's done them all a couple of times at this point.
Now, Jerry, you said you've marched in the parade, you marshaled the parade. What kind of goes through your mind and your heart when you're in that marshalling area and ready to go? I mean, I know you can just see the great sense of pride there is in marching in parades like the Victoria Day Parade.
Well, of course, when I was in the parade, we'd have cadet corps of over 100 young people, and they would be very prideful. For instance, St. Michael's School had a cadet corps associated with the Canadian Scottish, they would have something like 400 young men on parade.
Wow.
Wow, incredible.
That is really amazing. And then we see another group coming up here. And Jerry just talking to me right now, there's a lot of Canadian pride in the air, given the times that we're in. I mean, Canadian sovereignty is in question. There's got to be a lot of pride that you feel in seeing these groups walk in the parade as well and march in the parade.
Well, my background, of course, has been a lot of community service related to Canada. Having been a citizenship judge, one of the things about this parade is it really reflects the diversity of what Victoria is about. We will be seeing all kinds of cultural organizations, and hey, as a citizenship judge, I presided at their ceremony to make them Canadian citizens.
Love it.
So, you know, I have a lot of that part of my DNA in terms of all the things that I've done over my 8 decades on this, the Big Blue Marble.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm looking at these great pipes and drums, and I'm desperate to have a listen to them for a couple of minutes here. Just 1 second.
Of civilian pipe bands, the Canadian Scottish Association pipe band, and the Fraser pipe band as well. I believe there might be some members of 443 Squadron pipers in there.
They sound great. Oh gosh, what a great way to start the parade every year with the Naden Band and these great Scottish pipes and drums. And I love the idea that it was the amalgamation of several different groups off the top, Jerry. I think that's just terrific.
We saw the regalia there wearing different outfits. What were you seeing there, Jerry?
Well, as I said, that was an aggregation of a variety of pipe bands. You saw the Canadian Scottish cap badge, but it actually was a association pipe band member. They've been allowed to wear that regalia.
Pretty historic to see that as well. As
we have HMCS Malahat with their 150 members, ship's company exhibiting the 7-meter rigid hull inflatable boat. That's a training aid in the 24 Naval Reserve divisions across the country. They're being followed by 11 Victoria Service Company vehicles.
That's right. I saw those service vehicles actually when I was driving in. They were ready to come in together on the side of the road. They looked fantastic, getting some final shines on there. And tell us a little bit about the 11 Victoria Service Company, Jerry.
Well, the company is represented on parade today with the Canadian Forces Medium Support Vehicle System that includes 2 troop-carrying vehicles and a cargo truck. The vehicles are the same. They can be configured to carry troops or cargo. There's also a medium-capacity logistics truck. 39 Service Company is a reserve unit providing institutional support to 39 Canadian Brigade Group, including supply, transport, food services, and maintenance of materials, vehicles, weapons, maintenance to the 3rd Canadian Division units located across British Columbia. These vehicles are from the Ashton Armory. The white Jeep is in UN livery, of course.
That's right. That looks just a little bit older than the Jeep my wife drives, actually. So.
Well, the 1943 military tow truck, Chevrolet and Ford Canada delivered 90 different types of the more than 400,000 military vehicles during the Second World War, and parts were interchangeable. We're also looking at the 1959 Daimler Ferret.
Wow.
Canadian Army purchased 124 of these. They were used a lot in Cyprus. A 2-person crew, 4 tons, powered by a Rolls-Royce engine capable of 100 kilometers an hour.
Wow. 100 kilometers an hour, holy smokes.
We have the Navy Jeep there, the blue one. was actually a Jeep that was found in HMCS Cayuga.
Wow.
One of the 3 ships that were the first Canadian response to the Korean War that left this harbor in 1950.
There's got to be a lot of pride for all the people taking part in this. You're representing your country, but you're really getting to show off what you do and some of the things that you get to work with, Jerry, as well.
Well, the Ashton Museum is out on Van Allen Road. There are 4 other military museums in Victoria, 2 in the Bay Street Armories, and the Canadian Forces Base Esquimalt Naval Museum that's open 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 days a week. Turn into the gate, follow the blue line, and you're there. There's no charge.
And we're seeing the Songhees Nation here now. The nation organize and host the Reconciliation Powwow at Royal Athletic Park. We saw them. We see the military contingent as well. Just an amazing way to start a fantastic parade. 125 years, and it's not possible without the military contingent. So thank you again for helping us along the way there with that, Jerry.
Retired Lieutenant Commander Jerry Pash, we couldn't have done it without you, Jerry. It's always a terrific pleasure. You're so knowledgeable, and you've been such a great advocate for our veterans and for our military in Canada in general. We're so grateful for you. Thank you.
Well, thank you kindly. It's great to be back after a decade.
All right. Well,
we'll have you back in another decade.
Same time next year. How about that?
Thank you for your service, Jerry.
All right. Thank you, Jerry. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the parade.
All right. Now we're looking at Reynolds Secondary School making their way. Fantastic.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jerry. Take care. Here we see the great Reynolds Secondary School Band. Of course, the Songhees Nation went by just a few seconds ago. This is the 58th appearance in the Victoria Day Parade for the Reynolds Band. They are comprised of 125 grade 9 to 12 students, all of whom are in concert bands, jazz bands, and drumline at Reynolds.
Yeah, this year the flags carried by the Color Party represents the provinces that they visited throughout the program's 58-year history.
Incredible.
Very, very cool. They look great. They sound great as well. Should we have a little listen?
Let's do it. Secondary Marching Band performing for our judges today. Boy, oh boy, it's going to be a tough call for our judging panel trying to choose best band this year. And a shout out to our judging panel here for the 125th parade: Sherry Robertson, Mike Ketty, Sandra King, Dr. Gerald King, and our auditor Cassandra Neeson. Thanks so much for being our judges. And again, they're going to have a tough job today.
How good was that?
So
and some
good.
Great shots there from our Joan Wallace Driving School roving camera as well. And you're looking at all these flags. Well, the flags they have they support queer and trans youth, Black Lives Matter, and Every Child Matters. Very important. And they're going to have a year-end band concert Wednesday, June 18th, 7 p.m. at UFIX Farquhar Auditorium. I got to say, Stacey, one of the most impressive parts for me, none of them have gotten those beautiful white pants dirty at all. I would have stepped out of the house and they would have been dirty immediately. So great job to them. That's impressive.
Such a discipline, absolutely. You know what? They start rehearsing back in January, hit the field in the middle of March for band practice, and they just sound terrific. And they look good too, as mentioned. Good on you.
Making their way right behind us. Hi there. Lots of people walking by our broadcast location giving us waves, which we appreciate as well, which is so cool. And we're seeing some great stuff so far. That is a good way to kick off the parade. We have Kenny Podmore leading the way. Then we had the Reynolds Band leading the way. And now we've got Thrifty Foods, of course, the title sponsor. This parade wouldn't happen without Thrifty Foods.
Oh, it sure wouldn't. And they've been such a great partner for us at CHEK over the years. They operate 26 stores in communities across Vancouver Island and Salt Spring Island and the Lower Mainland as well. Proudly Canadian since 1977, since first opening their doors in Victoria's Fairfield neighborhood.
And just like us, I mean, they're celebrating all things Canadian, Canadiana right now. And look, when you're in the store for the maple leaf across thousands of products, when they're in the store, that, of course, identifies the Canadian products. Thank you for all you do and what you've done in our community since 1977 for being the title sponsor. I got to say, Stace, how many groceries do you think you can fit into that giant buggy?
Well, I actually know because that's actually my buggy. They actually borrow it for the parade because that's how many groceries I buy whenever I go into Thrifty Foods.
Oh, my.
Yeah, it's tough to get it into my little Prius, you know what I mean? Like those groceries, but I just can't stop myself. But yeah, Thrifty's is such a great partner, and they're all about experiencing and enjoying good food and supporting local. It means fresher ingredients. It means stronger communities and a happier economy for Canada and Vancouver Island. And Thrifty's is just one of those organizations that just works so hard to make sure their community presence is strong and supportive and felt every chance they get.
They were in the produce aisle. Looks like lots of greens in there. I got to say, that must have been a fun shopping excursion. You've come home with a cart full of balloons, which is the secret. Now we're seeing the Victoria Police Department make their way, and we are in it now. We are now parading very much so, Stacey, and a big thank you to the Victoria Police Department for taking part again. Leading this year's entry is Chief Constable Del Manick and Deputy Chief Jamie McRae. And this has got to be a special one for Del because he's, of course, retiring at the end of August.
Yes, he is. And what a great tenure he's had, a great presence. He's been in the community and, of course, year after year in our parade as well. I get the sense, just knowing Del, that he may not be quite done with the parade yet. I mean, even though he may not be the acting Chief Constable, I mean, I get the sense he might be involved in another way. So thanks for your service, Del, and great to see the Victoria Police Department. Ceremonial Guard here as well, Reserve Constables, driving card number 40, and the Vic PD Community Rover.
So it's going to be Fiona Wilson taking over as the new chief for Del Manick, and that probably he worked that into the contract. Said, absolutely, you can be the new chief, but I want to walk in the parade. That's how it works. Sure. And we can see Jeff King there. He's ready to meet up and chat with some of our incredible Tour de Rock team. We'll hear from them in just a second, but this is always a one that's close to our heart, Stacey, because we've got one of our media riders in there again.
Yeah, we sure do. Mackenzie Reid is acting as media rider this year, and of course we've had many in the past. Mary Griffin,
yes.
and Hannah Lapine have been on that ride as well as Ed and Jeff both.
That's right.
And it's just such a great tradition, a great legacy, and I know that Mackenzie is so thrilled to be part of it. She's not been a cyclist, up to this point, so what a great challenge for her, and we're so proud of her for taking on this challenge and helping support the kids and do the ride this year.
For sure. Hello, and thank you again for joining us at the 125th Thrifty Foods Victoria Day Parade. Can't do the Tour de Rock on that bike. That's a penny farthing that Jeff King told us about, which we're going to hear more from with Jeff and the team there who are roving. But yeah, just talking about that Tour de Rock team, all they do, and this year's ride, of course, happening September 20th to October 3rd. They cover all points of Vancouver Island, which is so key. 14 days, 1,200 kilometers across Vancouver Island, raising money for childhood cancer research and support services of the Canadian Cancer Society. I know Camp Good Times is a huge benefactor, and it's just so important.
Yeah, it really is. And, maybe some of the Tour de Rock riders would like to ride the penny farthings for a leg of the journey. Maybe not the Malahat leg, maybe not the hump, on Highway 4, but for a little bit. Or maybe the penny farthing might as well ride along with them for a stint. That would be fun.
I think the key word you said is leg. I don't think your legs could handle that. That would be, some of those hills along the Malahat might be a bit of work.
Yeah.
It is cool to see them back again, taking part. And yeah, I don't want to knock on wood just yet because there's lots of parade to go, but there's some sunshine out here. Bit of wind out here right now as well, which our team is helping us with. So
absolutely, but yeah, I mean, Mother Nature is a fan of the parade. I know she is. So she's allowed the sun to shine out here for us. And I've got to tell you, this is one of my favorite entries of the parade every year. This is the Victoria Fire Department Historical Society. These beautiful historical vehicles. They've been in the parade for over 100 years. This one, this entry, as usual, historical vehicles include the steamer and the pumper trucks, including a 52 Kenworth and the 62 LaFrance. Of course, they had their own horses back in the day.
Yeah, well, we mentioned 125 years ago, probably lots of horse and buggy. That's what you're seeing right there is the 1899 Redfern steamer with horses from Tally-Ho, of course. They know these streets better than anyone, Stacey. So they're leading this off, and it's just so cool. Part of the Victoria Fire Department Historical Society. They come back every year, and it's just so neat to see.
It is, and you know what? They love these vehicles. The retired members of Victoria Fire maintain the steamer and all the amazing historical vehicles you see here to keep them looking and running great. You know, I mean, I have a hard enough time keeping my old car running, and it's a 2012, so, it's a real challenge, I'm sure, to keep these gorgeous vehicles going strong, but they sure do every year, and I'm a fan of the horses, Paul. Anytime I see a horse in the parade, it's all good.
You're a big horse, and they're going by us right now. They're ringing their bell. They're sounding fantastic. That steamer, 9,000 pounds, so those are some pretty strong Tally-Ho horses.
I don't think they're having any problem at all.
No, they are not.
Pulling that. Yeah.
And behind that, we see members of the Victoria Fire Department Historical Society, and these are the trucks that you're talking about. These are really cool trucks, the old trucks that are still working, still in service. That 52 Kenworth, the 62 LaFrance, and they've been part of this parade for more than 100 years, Stacey.
Yeah, and we talked about the history of the parade a little bit. Like 125 years ago was when the Parliament buildings officially opened here in Victoria. That the budget for that project was $600,000, which in the day was impressive. It was 1/3 the revenue of BC's entire budget for the entire province. It was 1/3 of the budget for that.
How much was it?
$600,000 in 1898.
My goodness.
But boy, it is an iconic and beautiful part of our downtown core. For certain. So a lot to be proud of with that beautiful historical building and these beautiful historical trucks too, and the longevity of this parade always strikes me. 125 years is an awfully long time, and there's been a couple of blips along the way, but you know what? It's back and it's stronger than ever.
Such a cool shot at some of these old trucks, and obviously these ones are very special trucks, and they're going to be part of the parade. But what's really cool is a lot of the fire departments on Vancouver Island, they maintain their trucks, and then they'll sell them to other areas of the province, maybe some smaller volunteer organizations who actually use them in wildfire fighting. So these trucks go a very long way, and I just think it's so cool that Victoria Fire is back with us as we see Victoria Ready making their way to come down the road here. They're in emergency management in Victoria.
Yep, they are. They offer all kinds of things like free emergency preparedness workshops and volunteer opportunities and resources. You can check it out if you're interested at victoriaready.ca, and also to subscribe to our notification system. It was it last week we had an emergency alert notification type drill across Canada?
It was, yeah, just over a week ago, I believe. And yes, it really does help, and it's important. But Victoria Ready, they offer free emergency preparedness workshops, volunteer opportunities, resources, as you mentioned. victoriaready.ca. They do have a emergency support services van which responds on scene following a house fire or other emergencies to meet with the supported evacuated residents. So it's exactly like you say, they do have that partnership with the firefighters. That's why they walk with the firefighters, and it's an important part. People don't think of that. You know, you have a house fire, what do I do? Well, Victoria Ready is there to help you with that.
Of course, and we really want to give a shout out to all the amazing volunteers. They spend hundreds of hours every year to serve their community before, during, and after emergencies. Of course, we don't ever want those emergencies to happen, but we're so grateful to have that support system there when and if we need it.
Yeah, for sure. And again, just another big thank you to all our incredible sponsors. We saw Thrifty Foods. They were one of the leads in the parade. But Downtown Dental Victoria, Dodds Furniture, Totem Towing, Sunbelt Rentals, we really, really appreciate you all for being supportive of us and being able to provide this parade for people who couldn't come out. Maybe they didn't want to come out in Victoria, or they can't come out in Victoria. They're in other parts of the island or in the province. So thank you for joining us, and happy Victoria Day to you.
We shouted out a little earlier some of the judges who were having the very, very difficult task of choosing at best here in the 125th Thrifty Foods Parade. We've got to mention some more. We've got our Festival Society additional board member Katie Getz, who's here, and some new judges this year for the drill teams, floats, and performances. Kim Breland, you might recognize Kim. She is heading up Stages Dance again, as she has for many, many, many years. Jennifer Sanders and Heather Elaine Day also judging those drill teams, floats, and performances. And Scott McInnes, he would usually be here on the judging panel. He's sadly in hospital. Scott, get well soon. We wish you were here. And boy, they're not subtle. The fire trucks.
I was very impressive. You're able to talk through that as you've got fire trucks going off in the background. Saanich Fire, Local 967 Charitable. That's really cool. So you may have noticed it in one of the windows, Marshall and Sky from Paw Patrol. They're part of the Saanich Fire contingent. Yes, I hear you. Founded in 2001, operated by members of the Saanich Fire Local 967 through countless volunteer hours, financial contributions, and those members. So important. We've seen Victoria Fire, we've seen Saanich Fire, and also part of the Victoria Fire was the Greater Victoria Muscular Dystrophy Association as well. Thank you very much. Their annual boot drive, May 23rd and 24th in 2025. They do so much work. Thank you to all the firefighters. And now we got some Dino Labs.
Yeah, and we saw View Royal Fire go by too. They're also involved in the Help Fill a Boot campaign, which you will see coming up later this month on the Dino Lab.
Yeah, this is
Oh my gosh, so much fun.
We saw a special feature with Jeff, and he was kind of digging through some stuff, which was cool. This is a bit more hands-on experience for at least the kids getting to see the dinosaurs. The T-Rex they restored in 2019. Victoria has returned to Dino Lab after touring National History Museums in Phoenix, Houston, and Melbourne, Australia. Dino Lab is so cool, and it's in our community, which is so neat.
It really is. Back and be on display for the next 4 to 6 months. So head down there and check it out. What an incredible experience to be up close with all those amazing fossils and dinosaurs. They just completed this 4-year Art Meets Paleontology project. 2 of the employees, they called it Let Bygones Be Bygones. It's a Tyrannosaurus and a Triceratops skeleton sitting down at a giant bistro table over a cup of tea, sipped from bone china, working out their differences. A lot of work from the artists Rye and Nate Williams. They create art with dinosaurs that connect the world, Paul.
So cool. And we saw the Canadian Coast Guard there, a special operating agency with Fisheries and Oceans Canada. Thank you to the Canadian Coast Guard and all they do. But this is a very, very special part of the parade, Stacey, and this is the Victoria Filipino Canadian Association. Obviously, heavy hearts with what happened at the Lapu Lapu Day Festival in Vancouver, but such a strong contingent coming out today. And this got to be an emotional day for a lot of them.
It really is. You know, today's participation in the parade, deeper meaning within the Filipino community. They stand in remembrance of that tragic incident that occurred in Vancouver. Many injured and lives were lost, and victims still continue to recover. And of course, Paul, you and I and all the CHEK team here, really our thoughts, our hearts are with the survivors, the victims, the people that are still struggling and recovering. But today is also a day to celebrate, a great day to celebrate the strength and resilience and culture of this amazing community association here in Victoria, proudly coming together under the Victoria Filipino Canadian Association, the Bayanihan Culture and Housing Society, the Victoria Filipino Canadian Caregivers, Migrant Workers, and TFWS Association, and the Victoria Filipino Canadian Seniors Association, all coming out today to celebrate their culture and celebrate each other.
You know, and you're getting a big round of applause from people in the crowd, and I just love that. It's a pretty emotional moment here along the parade route, which is beautiful. And you talked about that resilience, that unity, that solidarity, well, that very spirit embodied by Lapu Lapu and their ancestors. So such a strong contingent, such a beautiful contingent. Let's listen in for a little minute. So setting sail in this year's Victory Parade is a stunning float inspired by
the Balonjai, an ancient wooden boat that symbolizes the Filipino spirit of unity, migration, and resilience, which is very, very key today.
It's interesting. The symbolic vessel honors the courage for all those folks to be out there today and to be pushing through a really tough time in their history. And it talks about history and a legacy of both ancestors and modern day heroes, paying tribute to historical figures as well. Amazing.
What a beautiful moment. Talking to a lot of members of the Filipino community and that resilience and that strength, and they really asked us to shine a light on other people, which I think is so incredible and speaks to them, but they want to shine a light on the everyday heroes among us. They say healthcare workers, seniors, seafarers, and migrant laborers. And included in this tribute is a printed image of Benson Flores, which is the first documented Filipino in Canada, symbolizing the pioneering spirit of Filipinos both at home and abroad. Thank you for what a beautiful contingent this is.
It is, and the Balonjai tells a story as a people of the sea, enduring love for travel and community and kinship. The same spirit flows through Filipino diaspora today. They continue to be one of the world's leading contributors in nursing, marine industries, and caregiving. And we're so grateful they're all here. And Paul, you can see that the crowd, once they realize which contingent this is, they are standing up. They're giving them a special rounds of applause and really sharing themselves and showing their appreciation for everyone who's here.
Oh, that was pretty cool. There's a couple of members there. One of the young ladies is part of the Heroes Hockey program that I get to work with. She's a Filipino, her ancestry, and she just gave me a big wave as she goes by. So this is so cool to see the Filipino team. This is so amazing. And yeah, you're just getting a sense of what this means to the community, but what the community means and what the Filipino community means to us as well. So this is just a very powerful and what a great, great moment in this parade.
Absolutely it is. And you can see the celebration there and the applause and the joy. And they are doing that at the same time they're honoring those affected in the Lapu-Lapu Day tragedy and their families and the community.
Yeah.
And, in their memory, the people that are out here on the parade route, they're reaffirming the values of resilience, unity, and solidarity. It's the very spirit embodied by Lapu-Lapu and their ancestors. So
yeah.
Good on you for being here today.
Good on you, indeed. Great shots here from our Joan Wallace Driving School, our roving camera. You can see the Filipino flag flying proudly on this Victoria Day, the Thrifty Foods 125th Victoria Day Parade. Yeah, looking good there. We're seeing the Victoria Filipino Canadian Seventh-day Adventist Church. They're a Protestant Christian denomination. They uphold the importance of Fourth Commandment and the Seventh-day Sabbath. They, of course, following the Filipino contingent.
There are 3 Seventh-day Adventist churches in Greater Victoria. They're run by the Lakeview Christian School. It sits atop the hill overlooking beautiful Elk Lake. There's the West Coast Adventist School. It offers accredited online education, allowing students right across BC to learn from anywhere with flexibility and support. And the churches support the Adventist Development Relief Agency, and that responds to emergencies and serves humanity to end extreme poverty. And don't they look beautiful?
Wow, that is a stunning, stunning outfit. I think you might be able to pull that off, Stacey. Me, not so much.
I definitely think Ed and Jeff could.
Yeah, that's right. A beautiful, beautiful sentiment with the Filipino contingent and just really powerful. Let's have a little listen.
All right, our next entry is very resplendent red aerial roofing. They've been in business here on Vancouver Island for more than 35 years and counting, providing quality service to all of Greater Victoria with an honest approach to business, they say.
Yeah.
I'm sure they are.
They are. That's not Jeff, is it? Oh, no. We're going to see Jeff in just a minute. That is one of their mascots waving to us. They're a proud supporter of local sports teams. And if you want honest professional company, like you said, you know where to go. Call Aerial Roofing, and they got some balloons coming out of their roof right now, I think.
Yes, they took Thrifty Foods' lead and go big on the balloons, and why not?
Yes, and behind them you can see the Early Ford's V8 Club 109, which is so cool. They're a non-profit organization representing a collection of restored antique cars from past days, as we see Aerial Roofing pass by, and there they are, the Ford's V8 Club, and these are some cool rides, Stacey.
Oh, they are just beautiful. The first Ford, Paul, ever sold was in 1903-04. It was sold to a doctor, Dr. Fenning, for a whopping $850.
Oh, man.
It reached a top speed of 30 miles an hour. Which seems like a lot in the day.
That's flying. Henry Ford, actually really good friends with Thomas Edison.
Okay.
I found out, didn't know that. The Ford Mustang, first introduced in 1964. And I'm told the Model T has the nickname Tin Lizzie.
Yes.
Which I like.
Yes, and did you know that it's only available in black?
Okay.
Because the paint dried more quickly, and that allowed for faster production.
Wow, and to
That's
drive
right.
faster, I imagine, too, yeah.
The Model T 1915 to 25. So.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there you go. More than 15 million Model Ts have sold.
These are some beautiful cars. Great shot there from Graham on our Joan Wallace driving cam. Oh, yeah. Lots of waves, lots of happy faces. And dare I say, a little bit of sunshine out there right now, Stacey.
Absolutely, and we're so happy to see that sunshine today. It just makes the paint on those beautiful vehicles shine all that more brilliantly.
Just sparkle a little bit better. And then behind them, of course, we have the Mustard Seed, which is celebrating 50 years this year of serving the community. They're the largest, most accessible food bank on South Vancouver Island.
And the need is increasing. We know grocery prices are going up. We know the economy is a bit challenging in some sectors right now. They serve 70 organizations from their Viewfield Road warehouse.
Yeah.
And also their 625 Queens location. That use of that service is up 24% this year. So they rely on donations. They need money. They need support to help those who need it. If you can find it in your heart to give to the Mustard Seed, please do. They're doing really good work.
Yeah, supporting community, fighting hunger since 1975. Their goal this year is the same as it's always been, to continue to meet the needs of the community that they've served for so long. So thank you to the Mustard Seed for being part. Now we've got the Gizzy Shriners and Freemasonry in District 1.
Yes, this looks like contingent from the BC and the Yukon, and the Gizzy Shriners. They're such a wonderful, popular entry in this parade every year. They do so much work to help young children, providing free surgery and transportation along with stays for the family. We heard from Jellybean earlier in the broadcast, who talked to us a bit more about what the Shriners have been up to over all these wonderful years they've been in service.
You see that convertible there, the Queen of the Nile, Donna Andrew, and the Daughters of the Nile are also here. The Queen is in that convertible, and there I think we see the Shriners clowns in the Loki caboose, which is Jeff's friends now. I wonder if Jeff's going to get to join his Loki brethren.
Well, he's all practiced up on driving one of those cute little vehicles there, accompanying the caboose this morning. Many Freemasons walking here as well, with approximately 9 lodges in Victoria. They raise money for hospice. And you know, I thought it was fun that Ed mentioned it earlier when Jellybean was doing this piece, that, you know, you can't just walk in and be a clown. You've got to do the work. And it's right, like, behind the scenes, they do so much work to support children particularly, but it's just a wonderful service that they've been offering. They support the Victoria Hospice, Island Prostate Center, Children's Hospital Foundation, Cops for Cancer, Tour de Rock, Mustard Seed Food Bank, Boys and Girls Clubs, Music for Youth, and more. It's just the contribution that they make is endless, really.
Yeah, that's cool. I see on the front of the train, constructed by Copley Locomotive Works in Cobble Hill, BC, which is so cool as it goes by our broadcast location here. Yeah, the Shriners know how to draw a crowd and get some eyeballs, don't they?
Yeah, they sure do, and they always seem to enjoy it as much as the audiences seem to enjoy them as they make their way down the parade route, down Douglas Street, ending up at the legislature.
Yes, they're making their way there. We can see some St. John's Ambulance, plus some bikes are joining them on this one. Now, when people see their teams watching over an event, they sometimes ask, while waiting for something to happen, they ask if the person has ever gone fishing. Well, fishers never get bored, although they sometimes don't catch any fish. Medical support is like that. This is what they asked me to say. I was a little lost where I was going, but I totally get where they're saying.
I don't think you got it quite right. You almost
But there's some fishing. There's some fishing. Either way, St. John's Ambulance is here. Last year, there were more than 50,000 people at the events they supported. Of those, they treated more than 1,000 sick and injured individuals. And thank you to all the incredible teams at St. John's.
We also saw, just prior to our St. John Ambulance friends, we saw Job's daughters go by there, so we're appreciative of them being in the parade as they are for many, many years. And I understand, Paul, that our friend Jelly Bean, a.k.a. Jeff King, is down on the parade roof. Jeff, what's going on down there?
I want to dance. I should. Yeah, it's funny because one of the Shriners just came by and handed me, I said, looking for Jelly Bean, and handed me this great pin, so I think I'm officially in the club now, which is great. I'm here with yes, I'm in. I'm here with our Mayor Marianne Alto, and I know you're so proud of this community each and every day, but today it just takes it to another level.
It really is. 125 years. This has been the most well-attended and the most supported parade in the city's history. It's all about celebrating Victoria and all of our friends and allies. You know, we really appreciate the fact that so many service clubs and schools and organizations that really make the community what it is are here today, demonstrating a little bit about what they do so we can all appreciate them, but really just getting together and building community. It's fantastic.
Yeah, our sister city is represented here today. Yes. And how nice, heartwarming when the Filipino community passed by.
It was incredible. It was so great to see them come up first and to be able to have the rest of us really show our appreciation and understanding. And yeah, the Filipino community here, like so many, are just so proud of what they do, what they brought to the city, and we're proud of them too. Morioka's here, you're right. They're here celebrating the 40th anniversary of our sister city relationship. We've had events with them all weekend, more tonight before they go home tomorrow. We're really hoping we can get over to Morioka sometime this year or next, because they are one of our oldest and really one of our most active sister city relationships. They love us, we love them. We have lots of ways to commemorate that relationship, and so we're really thrilled that they're here.
Great seeing you, your worship.
Always a pleasure.
It's all about the love, you guys. It's all about the love.
Always. This is a great way to do it.
I love that. Thank you very much, Jeff. And we saw behind Jeff and the mayor, the Fiesta Latina dancers dancing around. And if you want to watch Fiesta Latina folk dancers, mariachi, sin frontera, and Latin vibes, go to Festival Mexicano 2025, which is July 12th and 13th.
Oh, and they just look beautiful. Their dresses and their ceremonial dress is absolutely spectacular. You know, Mexico City has the second most museums in the entire world. They have 170. They're second only to London, that has 200.
Wow. All right, let's listen it into the party.
Let's do it.
A party, Stacey. That's how you get things going there. I don't care if it's not sunshine. That makes you feel the warmth there on the 125th Victoria Day Parade. Behind them, we've got the Wangsheng Kung Fu Club, which was founded all the way back in 1974 in Victoria by the late Wang Sheng.
It is the only place in Canada to teach Hung Fut style of Kung Fu. Now, that was a new word for me. I had to look it up. It was developed in the early 1800s in China, and there's a focus on striking. And all forms start with the left side of the body, and they use more than 20 different weapons. The best known is the left-handed staff style. So it's a very specific form of Kung Fu, and we're so glad that they're sharing that with us today.
I love that. Now, their goal is to promote and ensure the continuity of this style of martial art. All of their instructors have spent a great deal of time and practice to learning that style of Hung Fut, and oh, this is very cool. Let's have a quick listen.
lucky to have such a strong and vibrant Chinese community here in Victoria. Of course, we know it's the second oldest Chinatown in North America, and the Chinese community is such an integral part of the fabric of this community and has been since Gold Rush times, which is when the first Chinese migrants really came and populated us here in Victoria.
Yeah, and just such powerful imagery here on the streets. It just looks fantastic. And you mentioned the second oldest in North America. It's still number one in our hearts for the Chinatown. It's the best Chinatown in North America, I would say. And what a beautiful contingent we have here. Thank you to the Wangsheng Kung Fu Club.
And of course, if you want to learn more, the terrific Canadian Chinese Museum in Chinatown is absolutely worth seeing. They've done such a wonderful job, Charlene Thornton-Joe and her team there, in building that museum and filling it with the most incredible artifacts.
Yes. And you know, something Jerry Pash said, which really struck me at the beginning of our broadcast, basically saying he loves the diversity and multiculturalism that is our community. And he loves that it's reflected in this parade, but within even the parade floats, you see different cultures, different people, different styles. That to me is Victoria. That's the community, and that's what we're celebrating today. And that's just, it just makes you so proud that you get to be here and have the honor of calling yourself a Vancouver Islander and a Victorian, right?
Absolutely. Of course, this dance being performed in front of our panel of judges right across the street, right behind where we're located here near City Hall on Douglas Street. Of course, the parade making its way from the marshalling area at the Mayfair Shopping Centre all the way down Douglas Street, and then they hang a sharp right at Courtney, and then end up at the BC Legislature. So it's been a lot of fun.
All right, I think we're going to check back in with Mr. Jeff, no longer the artist formerly known as Jelly Bean, Jeff King, hailing out with some Cowichan Lake ambassadors, I believe, right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm never going to leave the Jelly Bean thing down, and actually I'm okay with that, but I'm with the Lake Cowichan ambassadors, and who do we have here?
I'm Bella Robinson, and I am the second princess.
I'm Taya Davis. I'm the Cowichan Lake ambassador.
Right, Ann?
My name's Riley Warren, and I'm the Cowichan Lake first princess.
I love that. So it used to be Lady of the Lake, but we've changed things up, and maybe explain why.
Yeah. So we're the Cowichan Lake ambassador program, because now we're making our program gender neutral, so boys can run as well. And yeah, it's just a big change, but it's a good change in the right direction.
Yeah, it sure is. And what's the best thing about being a Lake Cowichan ambassador?
For me, I was a really shy person, and this program taught me how to publicly speak. You know, you would catch me dead before I did this before the program. I'm going to be honest. I would not do this, but now, throughout the program, I've gained the confidence.
Well, I love that. So what's it entail for the year?
For the year, we got to travel around BC, which was super exciting. We get to go on multiple parades, and yeah, we just get to represent the Cowichan Lake area.
Yeah, what a beautiful area it is. I mean, and a big part of being on this float, and I've been on this float before, is the waving, right? Am I right or wrong? Shall we wave together?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Oh, learning. Oh, it's a scoop. Okay, Jelly Bean scooping, guys.
And then we normally switch to the other side.
Oh, okay, let's do it then. Oh, sorry. 2 and 3. All right, Jelly Bean out. Nice chatting to you, young ladies.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you very much, Jeff.
Okay.
Stacy and I are now working on ours.
Shall we switch?
Okay. Oh, yes. Synchronized parading happening here.
Oh my gosh, we're having so much fun, and been so impressed at this point in the parade with all of the entries, just the color and the sound and the excitement that's rippling through the crowds of many deep now lining Douglas Street. So I don't know the numbers yet, but thousands and thousands.
Thousands for sure.
Lining this route.
Yeah, and we just look at some of the incredible contingents that are coming. We've heard from Mayor Marianne Alto talking about the Filipino contingent and just the power that was really in that moment of everyone cheering and celebrating and honoring, and I thought it was just so cool. And there is the Cowichan Lake Ambassador Program that Jeff was chatting with. Jeff no longer part of the Cowichan Lake.
Yeah, they punted him off the
said,
truck.
okay,
Yeah,
your wave is not good enough. Get off. There we go. The rolling. I like that. There we go. We got some
little
moves.
shimmy. All right. A big shout out, of course, to the Greater Victoria Festival Society.
Yes.
As you can imagine by watching, folks, the enormity of the work that goes into organizing all this. this. I know it's like herding cats sometimes to get everybody sorted and down on this parade route every year. The Board of Directors, Festival Society President Laura Cooper, Vice President Barb Coltish, Secretary Connie McConnell, Directors Maria Capiello and Councillor Hazel Braithwaite and Katie Getz, and of course the Festival Society lead executive director since 2014 is the incomparable Kelly Curda. Thank you for all your work.
Yeah, truly. To make this tick, it takes a big team, and there is Kevin Whiteside and Mayor Alto at the judging booth, and they're, like you said, they're going to be in tough, Stacey. There's some very strong, and we're just kind of getting started here. We're not even at the halfway point, so this is great. We got a lot of parade to go, and I can see behind this group, the Cowichan Lake, is the Veselka dancers from the Ukrainian Society.
But these are the Old Time Racers Association.
Okay,
yeah, we can see that. These great vehicles. It started, this organization did in 1977. It's one of the oldest racing car clubs in Canada. It's their 48th season, their 45th in this landmark Victoria Day Parade, and they worked so hard. It, of course, began way back when Ross Rocket and Dave Ireland had that little nostalgia bump, and they decided to restore some of those beautiful old stock cars that had raced here in Victoria and Nanaimo in 1963.
And we're talking about the cost of stuff. They found a 1932 Chrysler Coupe in a wrecker yard in Cobble Hill. They bought it for $40.
I think they spent a little more than that refurbishing it.
Spent a little bit more, but yeah, including that 1932 Coupe they restored. They have got so many great cars on show, along with 3 more. Western Speedway in 1978, they were formed, and as you say, the rest is history. So we saw them, the Old Time Racers. These are the Fueling Brain Society. This is their very first parade.
Hey,
so
welcome.
Of course, their local child care center opening a new location this summer. And yes, that's what it's all about. Wave, buddy, you're in a parade. You're rocking it.
Welcome. I hope you're enjoying it in the sunshine. And what a day to be driving a convertible down Douglas Street, I think.
It was dicey there for a minute. But no, yes, as of right now, it's good. Just wait 10 minutes.
And look, here we are. We have the Veselka dancers and the Ukrainian Society, of such a vibrant part of Victoria Olds and Carswell since 1971. And I did not know that Veselka means rainbow in Ukrainian. I love that.
Very cool. Now, under the artistic direction of Lisa Hall, they continuously strive for excellence in their mission to educate, promote, and preserve the Ukrainian culture. And they do that through dance, music, costumes, and innovative collaboration of the arts. And it is just such a beautiful and colorful part of the parade.
It is. I mean, as they celebrate 50 years of Ukrainian dance, we know that they perform all over Greater Victoria. They do school tours and festivals and community events. And of course, they're so good. They're so good at what they do. They earn high praise and appreciation wherever they go, and you can enjoy them at the One World Performance in Centennial Square following the parade. And that's always such a fun part of Parade Day, is that big One World Festival.
I know Gordy Dodd's Furniture, a big part of that, and yes, they love having that One World Performance in Centennial Square, just behind us actually. So if you don't get enough parade, go down to the square, and that is great. Now we got Shorecrest Highlanders. These are one of the groups that you mentioned from Washington State. They made their way up here, and they are so pumped to parade.
They have been marching in 1 to 3 parades every year since the school opened in 1961. They perform in football games, of course. Over 70 musicians with bagpipes, Highland dancers, cheerleaders, and flags. Let's hear what they have to offer this year from Shorecrest Highlanders.
a Washington State band playing the Hockey Night in Canada theme. I think we just solved Canada-U.S. relation. I think they just did it single-handedly. Awesome job.
Oh, man, that's so good. Of course, you're looking at the drum line there, which was the heart of the band, their red jackets distinguishing its members. And Shorecrest unique among the American bands because they do boast a bagpipe band as part of it. So what an incredible performance. They're all volunteers, these kids. Yes. They rehearse outside of class time, and you know what? I think for the most part, they're having a great time being here.
They look fantastic. They sound fantastic, and we thank them for coming all the way up from beautiful Washington State. The Shorecrest High School Marching Band was great, and speaking of great, there's no one greater in this town than Gordy Dodd, Dodd's Furniture and Mattress. Now, Gordy's been part of the Victoria Day Parade since 1985. This is his 40th anniversary. Hi, Gordy.
Oh, my gosh. What an incredible human being he is. He truly is a businessman, business leader, philanthropist. He just gives so much back. Fresh from hosting the 4th annual One World Multicultural Festival. It was held at the legislature this past Saturday. And, of course, you know, I mean, Dodd's has been here since 1977, grown to become Vancouver Island's largest independently owned furniture retailer. And he's just a pillar of the community, Paul. I mean, there's just no two ways about it. Is there anybody that does more than Gordy does?
No, I don't think so. And he is a Class A celebrity in this town. Anyone sees Gordy, they text me and say, I saw Gordy Dodd today. Like, no way. That's so cool. And you know what? Obviously, does so much work with their furniture. Hey, Gordy. Hey, good to see ya. He's giving us a wave here. But, you know, they also serve 26,000 warm meals to the most vulnerable members of our community through Our Place Society, Salvation Army, and many other volunteer agencies over the past 26 years. So, Gordy, thank you for all you do, and thank you for being one of our main sponsors for this incredible parade.
And the commercials that Gordy does on CHEK, they are best ever.
He won't be undersold.
He will not be.
Now we've got the Bulgarian Canadian Society of BC. Now, since 2001, the Bulgarian Canadian Society of BC has organized and participated in local and international festivals and events to celebrate Bulgarian culture, heritage, language, and history. And what beautiful, beautiful outfits we see there.
Absolutely. You know, we've talked a lot about the cultural diversity that we have in our community, and on display here as well. With us today are 5 Bulgarian folk dance ensembles and music groups from Vancouver and Victoria.
Yeah, for over 20 years, they've brought Bulgarian folklore traditions to audiences at various multicultural events in Canada and abroad. And wow, just look fantastic. And joining them are students and staff from British Columbia's Bulgarian Language School. So it's a strong community.
Well, let's have a listen. I think there's some dancing going on.
All right.
Now for your marching memories, brought to you by Helijet. This photo, shared by Clive Hall, captures the Yew Tree Highlanders Riding Club in front of City Hall. Among the riders is 14-year-old Clive, seen on a Palomino horse, fourth from the front. Clive is now 75 and treasures this moment.
In 1961, 11-year-old Pam Bates from Qualicum Beach attended the Victoria Day Parade with her family for the very first time. With her sister's old box brownie camera in hand, she snapped a sweet moment, Miss Victoria and her princesses on their float. 17 years later, in 1978, Pam brought her 4-year-old son to the Victoria Day Parade for his very first time. Among the colorful sights were the Captain Cook float and the ever-familiar Shriner float. It was a joyful day for their cherished family tradition.
Hello and welcome back to the 125th Thrifty Foods Victoria Day Parade. We saw some great dancing there. Now we got Wheelie Clean making their wheelie cool way down the parade route.
Oh, that's really clever, Paul.
Thank you.
They work with local First Nations communities to provide dental hygiene at their homes and community center. They are the only mobile dental hygiene company in the city, and I believe that Ed and Jeff have did an upside with that group. And
that's right.
A lovely bunch of folks who operate Wheelie Clean, and so we're glad that they're here with us on Parade Day today.
Yes, Wheelie awesome indeed. Thank you again for coming back. And behind them, we've got Coastal Heat Pumps. They're working closely with Rainbow Kitchen and Janice Place, supporting families in need. Now, last year, Stacey, the Coastal Heat Pumps team handed out 20,000 freezies. Well, they're handing out 30,000 this year, so they're up in the ante.
It's good to set big goals, especially when you're coming out to the parade. 30,000 freezies. Yeah, maybe pocket warmers.
Maybe one and one. I could go for a freezie right now.
Actually, you know what? You're so right. Any time's a great time for a freezie. In the summer, they have portable outdoor cooling thanks to their misting trailers, and the trailers are available for all different kinds of events, from a festival to a fair or tournament or party, or even available if you just want to be cool outside. And you know, when it gets hot, you know, the heat dome wasn't that far away from where we are right now, and so important to keep people safe when they're outside at festivals like this. There's the misting trailers right there.
Yeah, and they really do help. And you mentioned, I mean, things can get really hot all of a sudden there. Coastal Heat Pumps is a big supporter of this parade. They love keeping people comfortable is their tagline. That means keeping people warm in the winter, and of course keeping them cool in the summer. And then when we're in this in-between, you can do either. You can be cool, you can be, you know, it's a little mixture. The temperature gauge keeps changing.
Yeah, it sure does on a day like today, and, you know, pretty much every day on Vancouver Island. Take your pick. And really appreciate the charity work they do with Rainbow Kitchen and Janice Place, as well as supporting families in need.
Yes. Yeah, really, really. Ooh, we're getting a little misted through here. Yeah, we're getting, thank you for the misting. We appreciate it coming right through our tent here. And just behind, oh, there we are. Oh, you can see the winds going. Yeah, we're getting the misting. It's too much. It's good right now. Thank you. Behind them, you can hear them right now. The Harmony Project Drumline, Zouk Harmony Project's Drumline. They've been involved in community concerts, parades, and festivals, and they can't even count how many they've been a part of, Stace.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's such a great project. They provide music enrichment from grade 5 all the way to undergraduate students, and let's hear what they got today. Amazing. So the members learn rhythm, theory, marching, and performance skills during regular rehearsals in the Zouk area. They're so thrilled to be part of the Victoria Day Parade once again.
Surprised you can't hear them where you live. All the way, they're pretty loud. They got a good drum line. Thanks again for being part of this parade. Of course, Yellow Cab of Victoria, they got the balloon memo, so they're rocking those. They're owner-operated company serving Greater Victoria. They got a fleet of 198 taxis, more than 190 hybrid or electric regular taxis, and 6 wheelchair accessible vans.
Yeah, they're the largest taxi company here in the CRD, so if you need a taxi, you can download their app, and perhaps you need a taxi to take you to one of our great sponsors, which is Downtown Dental Victoria.
Yeah.
They're just an awesome company. They offer services in English, French, Tagalog, Mandarin, Cantonese, Punjab. They're right in the heart of downtown Victoria. They use all kinds of state-of-the-art technology. Dental crowns actually made on site.
Wow.
They're at Downtown Dental, so if you need some work done,
I do.
Take a yellow cab and go down to Downtown Dental Victoria. I believe our own Jeff King.
All right, let's check in with Mr. Jeff King.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. The boys of summer are about to start. Christian Stewart's here, the general manager of your Victoria Harbour Cats. And we're not announcing it to tomorrow, but let's give the folks what they want today. Let's talk about Harbour Cats in 30.
Harbour Cats in 30, yeah. Just like you guys did with the Royals, we are going to do the Harbour Cats in 30 after every home game. Half an hour broadcast of the highlights from every home game. And we're looking forward to that partnership and doing it real well with you guys.
All right, when's things get going here, Christian?
Our home opener is on Friday, June 6th against the Port Angeles Lefties, the first fireworks night on the 7th. We've got a few things happening before that, but that's a home opener for the Harbour Cats. 33 home games this year at Wilson's Group Stadium at Royal Athletic Park, and we hope to see everybody there.
Little rumor about Ed Bain and I may be taking part in a game this year. Any truth to that rumor, Christian?
I heard it might be a possibility.
Keep rolling there, bud.
Definitely one of our non-league games. I think we're going to get you guys in the lineup. And,
Jeez. Okay, and then lastly, for those that have not been to a Harbour Cats game, you better get out there. It's much more than just baseball.
It's about entertainment. We tout ourselves as the best summertime sports entertainment in town. Sometimes people leave the game without even knowing who won because they had so much fun watching all the other stuff that we do at the ballpark. So it's always a great time.
Good stuff. Good seeing you, buddy.
Right, man,
there they are, Victoria Harbour Cats, the boys of summer, you guys. Such a huge part of what goes on in our community. And as Christian said, much more than just baseball. They got fireworks that have all kinds of family-friendly events going on at Wilson's Group Stadium, Royal Athletic Park. So go check out your Harbour Cats. Sorry, I didn't mean to dent that.
That's okay. That's good.
Okay.
Oh, that's good stuff. Yeah, don't wreck the Hummer, Jeff. Sorry, I'm just sitting down because I was getting high fives from Harvey here, the mascot. I love the Harbour Cats, and I'm very intrigued to what position Ed and Jeff are going to play on the Harbour Cats, but maybe left-right, as in left-right out. But we'll see about that one. As Jeff mentioned there with the Christian, Harbour Cats in 30. So they're home games. We're going to break them down 30 minutes. They're going to be at 10:30 on game nights at home. Just fantastic news.
Whoever invented that idea of having a 3-hour sporting event down into 30 minutes is my best friend, because I don't often have 3 hours to sit and watch a game, but boy, this is a great way, and I'm so excited that the Harbour Cats are doing that on CHEK.
And I'm so excited that the Penticton Peach Festival have been joining us. Right there, you see Queen Gurleen and Princess Cindy from beautiful Penticton, BC. Thank you for joining us all the way down from Penticton.
And if you happen to be in that neck of the province, there's a 5-day free family festival up there in Penticton. It runs from August 6th to 10th, and they invite you to come and experience the fun and beauty, the vineyards, the lake, and of course the terrific people of Penticton. And they offer their congratulations to Victoria for the 125th parade.
There we go, Penticton and Victoria getting along. I love it. And right now, we've got, is this the Harbor? No, this is not the Harbor Ferry.
Well,
oh, it is. Okay,
like
I'll just make sure. Don't take that into the water, please.
I don't think it's amphibious, no.
The Victoria Harbor Ferry have been serving Victoria for more than 30 years now.
Oh boy, and if you haven't done a little inner harbor tour on the Harbor Ferry, I would highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun.
It is cool.
It's just a unique part of Victoria in the summertime, and we have such a beautiful inner harbor. It's a great way to see it. And you know, on Sundays and sometimes on Saturdays, they might just perform a little water ballet, which is a bit of a synchronized event for the ferries and their great captains, and it's choreographed to music, of course, and they've been doing that for more than 2 decades. So it's so much fun.
We had some friends visiting from Scotland, and they checked out all the incredible sights and beautiful Victoria, and they said, and the ferries did a little dance together. I did. That wasn't in a Scottish accent, but no, it was just very cool to see. So thank you to Victoria Harbor Ferry for taking part. Now we've got the Nepalese Society of Vancouver Island and some beautiful, beautiful outfits again.
Absolutely, and I'm hearing some music behind us too, so perhaps it would be a good time to listen in.
I love it.
Vancouver Island is a club belonging to all Vancouver Island living Nepalese and people from other communities who love Nepal and Nepalese unique cultures.
Promotes Nepal, the land of the Himalayas, the birthplace of Buddha and the brave Gurkhas. So thank you again for taking part. And we heard from the Shorecrest team coming from Washington State. Well, this is Ballard, just from Seattle, Washington. Ballard is just outside of Seattle, and we've got another award-winning high school marching band. I think it's time we have a listen.
Background. They've been around since 1901.
They play dozens of shows every year around the Pacific Northwest. Great shot there. That was cool. Their set list today, they have Confident by Demi Lovato, Born This Way by Lady Gaga, Uprising by Muse, and Forget You by Gnarls Barkley.
And, you know, shout out to all the folks marching in the parade. I mean, we're lucky enough to be sort of across from the judges' tent here where a lot of the dancing happens and a lot of the playing happens. But it's a long parade route. And these guys are dancing and marching and doing their thing for a lot longer after we see them right here. So good for you for doing that. I'm sure there's some pretty tired folks at the end of the parade.
No doubt. We saw Sunny Education and Service Corp. Their slogan this year are Sunny Education and Proudly Canadian, which is so cool. They always say they look forward to being part of the special community tradition, and we thank them for coming back. And behind them we have the Victoria Korean Community Association. They're another very strong contingent and just an important part of this parade.
Yeah, you know, they're here to perform and celebrate their culture, and the Korean word nori is similar meaning to the English word play, and that means that it's not a performance where performers and the audience are separated. Rather, both performers and the audience come together as one in this dynamic experience.
This is good. We're in a nice little wind tunnel here. You might hear some of the wind picking up, but the parade route not affected, so that's good. Now, the performance that you're watching here is by Pungmulpae, a traditional Korean percussion ensemble, which is accurately referred to as Pungmulnori.
Well done. I didn't read that line because I wanted you to do it.
I'm not sure I did it right, but I apologize, but it is beautiful. And let's have a little listen.
Amazing. That
Yes.
was wonderful. Now, their participation in the Victoria Day Parade every year with the Pungmulpae is also a way of wishing for the well-being and good fortune of everyone in Victoria. And it looks like a beautiful flower.
Yeah. Isn't that
arrangement.
stunning?
It's
Like a
just
cherry
lovely.
blossom almost. Now, traditionally, Pungmulnori was a village event held to pray for a good harvest and many blessings. So we wish them the same and thank them so much for coming out and being part of another great parade.
Yeah, and we're looking at some Taekwondo here as well, which is a unique Korean martial art. And thanks for sharing that. Folks on the parade route there, right in front of the judges' tent.
Oh, yeah. Very impressive.
Although that looks a little less like Taekwondo.
Yeah,
and
this
a little
is
more
more
like dancing. My apologies. We are, of course, watching our TV monitors as we bring you this broadcast, and we have our backs to the actual parade route. So what we're seeing here on screen, not always clear.
Well, I mean, K-pop is a big part of the Korean culture,
sure
so maybe
is.
we're getting a little bit of a dance here. But you know what, Taekwondo or dancing, I can't do either. So both are very impressive to watch, and they're giving the judges a nice show here.
And I'm just seeing that there's UVic on the back of some of these shirts, so I'm taking just a wild guess out there and saying these dancers are from the University of Victoria.
I like what you've done there.
Thank you. Bit of a
Not
leap,
just
but
a journalist, an investigative journalist right here. That's cool.
But what I can tell is that everybody along the parade route is absolutely loving it, basking in the sunshine. The sun just came out just as the parade started, really.
Yeah, that's right.
About 9 o'clock, which
like
was
you said,
convenient
Mother Nature
timing.
loves a parade, right?
Absolutely. What's been your favorite part so far, Paul?
I've had two, really. The Filipino contingent was really, really powerful. I thought that was great. And then the Shorecrest Marching Band playing Hockey Night in Canada. I just thought it was so poetic and so cool. What about you?
Well, you know what? It's really tough for me to pick, and I never do. But I really loved the Naden Band and the other accompanying bands at the very, very start of the parade, and I appreciated Jerry Cash's involvement. Of course, the Filipino contingent today was incredible, and I love all the bands. I don't distinguish.
Yes.
They were all great. And you know what? We're going to hear a lot more, but right now we're going to take a very, very short break. We'll be back with you in about 30 seconds.
Now for your marching memories, brought to you by Helijet. There's something magical about tradition. Since 1898, the Victoria Day Parade has been part of the heartbeat of our city. In more recent memory, two lifelong friends, Diana Gale Stewart and Barb Coltish, became the soul of the Greater Victoria Festival Society Board, the force behind these community events. Their laughter, hard work, and deep care shaped decades of parades. Gale's passing in 2022 was felt deeply, but Barb continues to champion their shared dream. And now that dream is in the hands of Gale's daughter, the Festival Society's executive director, Kelly Kurda, who carries on this legacy.
Hi, hope you're enjoying the parade, the 125th Thrifty Foods Victoria Day Parade. We're sure having a great time. We're so glad you're with us.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. The sun is shining, which was fitting for one of the parade part that just came by, Shift Solar Energy and Storage. Thank them for being a part of this. But we've got marching bands in front of us, we've got them behind us, but the Chinese Community Dance Group, that's what you're seeing right now. They participated in the Victoria Day Parade for 10 years now. Let's have a listen.
Beautiful. Of course, we talked about it earlier in the program, Paul, that we have the oldest Chinatown in Canada, the second oldest in North America, and I think the only one in North America that still has sort of the existing infrastructure as far as some of the existing buildings. And boy, some of them are just spectacular, and the community, the Chinese Canadian community here in Victoria has done a great job of restoring and celebrating our amazing Chinatown.
Yeah, it's such a strong community, not just here in Victoria, up and down Vancouver Island and across British Columbia. We're so proud to be involved with the Chinese community. This is their dance group. They've got the drums. They said they love to show their culture. They wear the traditional clothing with beautiful Chinese umbrellas, the drums as well. And it's just, I mean, you mentioned the color in this parade, some of the vibrant, beautiful colors. I just really jumps out to me.
It really does, and you know what I appreciate and value so much is there's a celebration of these individual cultures, of the Chinese culture, but look at them carrying Canadian flags too.
I love that.
You know, I mean, you can be both. You can celebrate your culture, you can celebrate your heritage, and you can also celebrate being Canadian, and I think there's no better time to celebrate both of those things than right now.
All right, we got some drums going. Let's have a quick listen. A big shout out and thank you to the Chinese Community Dance Group. They sounded fantastic. They look fantastic. It's all fitting for the beautiful Thrifty Foods 125th Victoria Day Parade. Now you can see, I almost feel like the people lining the streets are starting to get bigger and bigger. Either they saw the broadcast on CHEK or they heard what was going on. They wanted to come be a part of it. And again, we're so proud and honored to be broadcasting again for another year.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yes, that is impressive.
I don't know if I'd want to run into this fellow after dark.
He gets a large berth out there.
He does. Amazing. So the Chinese contingent, amazing once again this year. And this is the Power CHEK Band. And we met these folks on CHEK News last week. They're a band that's come up here from Washington State, and we're so grateful. They play in several events throughout the year that are nonprofit events. They go to the Sandy Mountain Parade, Portland Shamrocks Run, and they're an audience participation band. I think that it might be time for us to participate and have a listen.
Yeah, I love it. Let's have a quick listen. They're from Portland, Oregon, the Power Pet Band. They call themselves Power Chords without power chords. It is their 25th anniversary, or as they like to call it, their bandiversary, which I like.
Apologies, I think I said they were from Washington State, but of course they're from Portland, Oregon. And yeah, they want to have more fun than their audience. They've been all over the western side of the states and up here in BC, including here for the BC celebration. We're so glad they were here with us today.
That's so cool. We got BC Transit. You can't not see those. They're the big buses, BC Transit. They work hard to be your best transportation solution. One of the most sustainable, affordable ways to travel throughout the region. You can choose to go cashless with UMO on their app or on a reloadable card.
And also exciting news from
Yes.
BC Transit that 3 of the 10 electric buses have arrived here in Victoria. They will be entering service a bit later this year, so keep an eye out for those fancy electric buses.
Yeah, and on Saturday, May 24th, they're going to be helping United Way fill one of their BC Transit buses for their annual Period Promise campaign at Tillicum Mall. That's from 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. It's so important and such a fantastic thing. And speaking of fantastic, Victoria on Stage Musical Theatre Society. I know this one's close to your heart, Stace.
Oh yeah, I mean I love the theater community here. Was a part of it for a long time, and VOS has done so much great work over the years. They've been in Victoria bringing live musical theater to the city for many years, as we just to get folk get blown off of our location.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Okay, we're going to go to Jeff King. Jeff, is it windy where you are as well?
Yeah, it is windy, but it is lovely, and I am with a lovely family right now. They're all out to support this lady here. It's the Parkinson's Wellness Project, and just tell us why you're here today.
I'm here for my sister, Tanya Schneider. She has Parkinson's, and her family and friends are also here to support her, and I'm also my late husband, who had Parkinson's.
You must be proud of Mom.
Oh, I'm so proud of her. She's amazing.
Awesome. Look at you. Look at the camera for me. Give me that big bubble you were just blowing. Can you give me one of those? Yeah, get her going. Work it up. Get her. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there it is. There it is, you guys. We are having fun in the crowd over here.
I just want to say thank you to my whole family for coming out and supporting me.
Awesome.
I love them so much.
Well, they look like a great crew. Good job to everyone over here. Good bubble making as well.
All right, good stuff. Thank you very much. That was one impressive bubble, I think.
Yeah, no doubt. A quick shout out to VOS. Again, they just finished up with their great performance of Legally Blonde. They do terrific work, and can't wait for their Christmas show, which is White Christmas, coming up in November.
Yeah, awesome stuff. We got Fusion CHEK, the Columbian Cultural Society of Victoria. The artistic group of the Columbian Cultural Society brings the heart of Columbia to life with their vibrant dance and their music, which we're seeing both.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, they just look so beautiful, showcasing their traditional music, blending Indigenous and Afro-Colombian rhythms, and for this just really wonderful cultural experience. I think there's some music going on here, Paul. Is it time to have a listen to this group?
I love it.
Let's do
listen
it.
in.
Short yellow skirts you're seeing are used in a dance called mapale, which is also the name of the fish the dance is trying to imitate. And then the long white and color skirts and the instruments are used in their most known rhythm, cumbia, which started as an Indigenous tradition with the wind instrument kuisi. Kuisi. It was later mixed on with African percussions and with the arrival of those folks in the Caribbean. So
that was fantastic.
So good.
What a performance. So much vibrancy, so much flair. Now, the decorations with the colors of the flag yellow, which represent their tradition with gold. The legend of El Dorado started with the Muisca peoples in the Columbia blue, and so cool. And one of CHEK's own, Vivian, is part of that group. She's playing music, sounding great. Hi, Vivian. Woo! Yeah, I gave her a wave there. She was rocking it. So good job, Vivian. Great job to Fusion CHEK, Colombian Cultural Society of Victoria. A fantastic performance.
They better hold that flag
group.
tightly or they're going to be doing some parachuting through the city streets.
They might move quickly. We see Sightseeing Victoria. Thank them again for always coming out, being a part of this fantastic parade. We're having a bit of an issue here with some of the wind, but it's good. It's good. It means things are moving and shaking, but not raining as of right now, so we're going to hold off. I'd rather some wind than rain.
You bet. Island Muffin Auto Services have gone past there as well. Oh, and here's some more music. Let's listen. I like the music. I like the music, Paul. I feel it in me.
Let's go. Friends of Music, thanks to them. And I think we have the CHEK Youth Turban Club. I think I saw them as well. But right now, it's time to get groovy with the Belmont Secondary School. They donated their profits from the winter concert to the Goldstream Food Bank. And this is their first time marching since 2014. Let's listen in.
Many decades ago, I graduated from Belmont High School. Both of my kids did as well. And here we see the CHEK Youth Turban Club. Now, the turban, of course, is a powerful and integral part of the CHEK identity, spirituality, and culture. It's got a rich history and significance that continues to evolve and inspire.
Yeah, the turban is considered a mark of respect and dignity, reflecting the wearer's value and character. And they look fantastic as well. So thank them again for coming out and being part of the 125th Thrifty Foods Victoria Day Parade.
And once again, of course, a big shout out to our sponsors, Downtown Dental Victoria, Thrifty Foods, Dodds Furniture and Mattress, as well as Totem Towing and Sunbelt Rentals. And a shout out to all of our CHEK crew here. It's not easy to pull off a parade, especially when the winds are blowing things over, and our crew here desperately trying to hang on to all the infrastructure that we're working with here. So
we're
thanks to everybody.
Paper. They're hanging on to very expensive equipment, so they're doing the hard job. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this. But it's so important that we're a part of this, and we're watching some fantastic action here. Let's have a quick listen.
Now, this is one of the groups I was thinking about earlier that might be a little pooped at the end of the parade route.
It's a lot
of energy. Oh, but we're so grateful. It's so much fun to watch, and I think fun to do as well. Looks like they're enjoying it.
Yes, and this is another one of the vehicles. When I was driving down, I saw it was a little bit chillier this morning. I was like, oh, I wonder how that convertible is going to do. But I think it's the right choice right now, so it's fantastic. They look great. And a big hi, lots of waving, lots of happy faces. And again, really, really celebrating all the cultures and communities on Vancouver Island.
And when you say the word celebrate, I think it truly is a celebration, right? I mean, the contingents get together, and I think it's a huge event. It's a huge party. It is just a huge celebration, and they're sharing it with us. They're allowing us to take a little sneak peek into their celebration and joy, and they're right behind us right now.
Just look behind us with this camera, if you wouldn't mind coming to us. We got the party happening here.
There they are. I want to go join in.
Me
Let's
too.
have fun.
Can we dance? Oh, awesome stuff. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Lots of waves from over there. Looking awesome.
Yay, so good.
That is what it's all about. Yeah, thumbs up, smiles, and a very good time. Great job to the Sick Youth Turban Club. They sure know how to get the party going.
Yeah, they do. Oh, so much fun. Yeah, again, I think second to none as far as cultural diversity in this parade.
Yes.
And it's really, maybe it is my favorite part. You know, I hesitate to decide what my favorite part is.
I like that it's changing, it's evolving. Yeah, it's the marching bands. It's this, but no, I love that.
Groups,
I love that you said that last year too. It is that culture and all the different identities, and I think it's so cool. And we've got some we've got some motorcycle club rippers from the Victoria Motorcycle Club, formed all the way back in 1906. They've proudly been in this parade since the 1940s. Oh, they got some moves there.
That's fantastic. I think, I'm pretty sure we saw the Maze Fusion cuisine entry, as well as, I'm not sure if we saw the Vancouver Island Peruvian Association. Hopefully they'll be coming out soon here, but these are definitely the motorbikes.
Yeah, these are very cool. Want to thank Joan Wallace Driving School for this roving cam.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Oh, goodness. Oh, my. This is Evel Knievel type stuff. He's on the front wheel. He's on the back wheel.
Okay.
Goodness.
Okay.
Jeez. Gotta be friends.
Now, this is the kind of thing that Jeff used to do, but, like the work safe BC issues.
That's fair.
Said, no, Jeff, don't do that. Okay.
That is amazing. The Victoria Motorcycle Club.
Wow.
That is a brave soldier down there. And yes, he's getting up. He's saying, okay, I've had enough. I've had enough.
Okay. Oh my gosh. The VMC has actually, been inducted into the Canadian Motorcycle Hall of Fame and recently into the Victoria Sports Hall of Fame.
So
and
cool.
Why not? They have just fostered the sport of motorcycling here for the past 118 years. And they're always a great highlight of this parade, and they're always so excited to be part of it.
Now, I don't think I need to say this, but if you own a motorcycle, please don't try this at home.
Please don't try this at home.
Yeah, that's their pioneer team. They used to lead the parade with their drill team. They're professionals, and they used to work as crowd control for the armed forces. So thank you to the Victoria Motorcycle Club. They certainly know how to make an entrance.
Yes, they do. Fun on two wheels, to be sure.
Sometimes one wheel.
Sometimes one wheel.
Sometimes no wheel, it turns out.
Oh, that's good. I see the rubber marks on the road there. Is that from these guys? Did they just lay some rubber down?
Right in front of the mayor as well. That's a bold thing to do.
Whoopsies. All right, I think that following behind the great bikers there is the Vancouver Island Peruvian Community, another great cultural organization represented here in the 125th Victoria Day Parade. Oh, this is the Hispanic Network.
Yes.
My mistake, friends.
You know what?
Of course
It's been a blustery day, and I think our pages are blowing all over the page. But we can see the Hispanic Vancouver Island Hispanic Network Society. They've led various community initiatives, including Dia de Muertos, a Hispanic Christmas celebration for families. I apologize if I didn't get that right, but I love Hispanic heritage and culture, and it's just so cool.
Oh, and the parade entry is always so full of energy, and as you can see, the beautiful, colorful costumes, lively music, and high-energy dancing. They actually love it when the spectators jump up and join in with them. So if it strikes your fancy to join in with this great dancing, you just go ahead and do that.
Are you talking to me?
Yes,
You want to get rid of me? No. All generations come together, from kids in traditional outfits to elders proudly representing their roots. Now, many participants are first-time performers. They love the Victoria community. They're saying whoop it up with the crowd, and you love to see it. The Vancouver Island Hispanic Network Society rocking along.
Let's have a listen. I think there might be some music there to listen to.
Very, very cool. DJ Moses was playing for all. Enjoy the massive dance for all the judges, thanks to the Vancouver Island Hispanic Network Society. And now we've got the Vancouver Island Peruvian Association.
And they wanted to give a shout out and acknowledgement to the Lekwungen speaking peoples and thanking them for the opportunity to call their beautiful territories home. And in gratitude, they are bringing their cultural traditions from the Andes Mountains, the Amazon rainforest, and the coast of Peru to share and celebrate with us here in the greater Victoria community. Viva Victoria! Viva El Peru!
Viva El Peru, indeed. Seems like they got some dance, some music. Let's listen in. So much flavor, so much flair, so much culture. I love it. And we're going to keep on going. I believe we've got another marching band.
Yeah, we sure do. There they are, the Aberdeen High School Band, the Bobcat Band, has earned accolades in several parades in the Northwest, including Wenatchee's Apple Blossom Festival, just to name one. This high-stepping marching band has a long tradition of excellence and is proud of their high energy and moxie.
I love me some moxie.
Let's listen to the moxie from the Aberdeen High School Band.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
The Aberdeen High School Band. Aberdeen, Washington, about 2 hours southwest of Seattle. And I'm spotting something.
One of my favorites. They're all my favorites. I can't lie. The Morgana sails the asphalt seas in search of booty grog and an adventure worthy of its buccaneers.
They're proudly based in Esquimalt and owned by Miller and the Jessen families. Okay, I'm going to stop that because it's horrible. But it's named after... It's Morgana, named after the amount of Captain Morgan rum they consumed while they were building it. And I think it's the perfect opportunity to throw to Jeffrey King.
Arr, mateys, yeah, I'm part of the party here right now, these scallywags.
Yes.
Captain Lance, tell me what's going on here.
We're the Morgana. We're having a little bit of pirate fun on the 125th anniversary of this great Victoria Day parade.
Yeah, you take this to Buccaneer Days. I mean, you guys make your rounds.
Oh yes, we're having a little bit of fun. Mark and I, we've done this for many years.
All right, Mark, look at the plank out. No, don't throw me down the flag, Mark. Don't throw me down the flag. Oh, I see Paul and I see Stacy.
Stacy?
Yeah.
Where's that?
And as you guys can tell, the Captain Morgan's is empty.
Oh no, it's not.
Fun here today. Hope you're all having a great day today. It's nice to see everybody.
Your meeting's got to go the other side of the plank.
Anniversary of the Victoria Day.
They're having too much fun. What are you doing down here?
Just hanging out.
Hanging out.
Having a party.
Tell me about these guys. They're characters.
There's really way too much to tell. Oh, yeah, way too. We don't have enough time for me to tell you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being part of the parade.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. You're going to make me walk the plank? Walk the plank. Here we go.
Captain, stop the ship.
Oh, no, they're making me walk the plank, you guys. You knew it was coming. It was coming. All right. Here we go.
Ready?
Yeah. Oh, hang on.
Come on, bring him over here. Bring him over here.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want him off?
Here
Do you guys
we go.
want him? Yes. Should we?
Want me off? Planks for coming up. That's what they had to say to me right there. Yeah. Characters for sure.
So good.
That's going to be one of the most graceful walking of the planks I've ever seen. Very well done,
Absolutely.
Jeff. And you know what was cool? You see the shots coming out of the Morgana there. Well, they're actually made from fire extinguishers that need to be empty. Now, the fire department gives the pirates the live cannons, then they're returned empty and traded in for more. So it's such a cool little connection they have there with the fire department. Thanks to the Morgana team for coming by.
Oh my gosh, it's actually made from a retired dollar store delivery van that was donated.
Of course it is.
Oh my gosh, they just what a fun group of people, and committed and hardworking, and the Morgana is always one of the very, very most popular entries in the parade.
I'm jealous that Jeff got to ride with them, and it's time now for the Malahat Skywalk and Wilson's Transportation. Of course, Malahat Skywalk and Wilson's Transportation have been actively involved in several community initiatives this year, supporting local events, sustainability efforts, and accessibility programs. They're fantastic, and I love that they've got a little mascot. Almost looks like a Sasquatch mascot, doesn't it?
You know what? I can't really tell what it is, but I like his shirt.
I do too. Very Canadian, right?
Yeah, it really is. They offer all kinds of really great services here. They've got a free shuttle service, partnering to provide that free shuttle from downtown Victoria to make the attraction even more accessible to visitors. It's really a great. Have you been to the Skywalk?
I have yet to go to the Skywalk, and I need to get up there. Now we have India-Canada Cultural Association of Victoria. They're a registered nonprofit society mandated to celebrate and raise awareness about the power, diversity, and color of India's rich culture. As the Indian community increased in numbers and started feeling at home, they organized themselves into a social and cultural network. So thank them again for joining us today.
Absolutely, and you know, the Indian community is increased in numbers and started to be feeling right at home, and so they organize themselves into a social and cultural network that is so vibrant and so strong. And this great association came into existence in the early 1960s, and it's been flourishing since then.
Yes, they are flourishing indeed. And speaking of flourishing, the MEI Middle School, the Mennonite Educational Institute, is one of BC's largest independent schools. They've been providing quality Christian education for 60 years, and the MEI Screaming Eagles are always a hit. Let's have a listen.
Nikki, our screen is frozen. We can't see. We're stuck on the mascot for the Skywalk.
All right. So that was MEI Middle School, the Screaming Eagles playing a little Rick Astley. Never Gonna Give You Up, I think.
Never Gonna Give You Up. A shout out to the ambulance paramedics of BC and the BC Emergency Health representatives who are here joining us. And now we're taking a look at the African Heritage Association and Jamaicans here on Vancouver Island. Now, the purpose of this group is to build a united and strong community by cooperatively organizing and supporting events and activities to meet the needs of Africans, people of African descent, and friends of Africa here on Vancouver Island.
Yeah, and the Jamaicans on Vancouver Island are committed to fostering Jamaican culture in Canada and empowering the Caribbean, which is fantastic. Again, we talk about the colors and the cultures and everything. That's what it's all about here on this incredible day, and they look fantastic out there.
Yeah, they really do. You know what? We've got young kids out there, and we've got some senior citizens out there, and they're grooving to some music.
Oh, yeah. Great stuff. Now time for Light 'em Up with Help Fill a Dream. Now Light 'em Up hosts the largest Vancouver Island car show with over 650 vehicles and thousands of attendees. Owner Michael Nicholson brings automotive community together with like-minded car enthusiasts coming from all over the island and abroad, and these are cool cars.
Oh yeah, you know, Michael is known for the diversity of his vehicles and the mix of generations who attend his events, bringing the young car enthusiasts together with the old, and oh that sound. You know, honestly, my son Dylan used to drive race cars at Western Speedway, and for him it was always the sound of the race car that would get his blood going.
Best. No kidding, it really, you can feel it right in all the roads, and it's funny. So we have a police officer sitting behind us. He's on a motorcycle, and he's giving them some love with his whoop, 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 whoop. Gave him some of the horns. He's loving it just as much as everyone else is. So yeah, light them up. And they're joined with Help Fill a Dream, which is a match made in heaven as well, because these are some dream cars, and Help Fill a Dream does such great work in this community as well.
Oh yeah, they really, really do. And you know what? Light 'em Up hosts 3 major shows every year, and I was just in Mayfair Mall with my daughter yesterday, and 2 of these beautiful cars are in the mall, and they are just spectacular. Great to see them close up. They've got the show at Mayfair Mall. Next one is in the summer on July 12th, another one in October, and all those proceeds go to Help Fill a Dream, which does so much to support families here on Vancouver Island and the Gulf Islands.
Yeah, since 1986, Help Fill a Dream has supported more than 3,400 Vancouver Island and Gulf Island families. With donor and volunteer support, they can continue to make impossible possible. So thank you so much to Help Fill a Dream with Light 'em Up. Never underestimate the power of dreams, they say, or the role that you can play in helping to fill them. And this is just, again, one of my favorite. The cars are incredible. The story is important, and I just love it all so much, how it's connected together, Stace.
Yeah, I really do. And you talk about dreams, and you know, there are several of my dream cars that have just gone behind us here. They're so nice.
Sorry, what?
And then there's the bug, right? I mean, how can you not love Herbie the Love Bug there? And it's just, I love the variety of the cars, and you've got the old classic cars, and you've got Herbie, and then you've got
the little doggos and the glasses sticking out. Yeah. Oh, lots of people were hanging out of cars. We've got all the impressive one. Yeah, you're right. We got the minis. We got the bugs. Oh, this is a lot of cell phones out at this part of the parade.
And isn't that Nikki's Jeep there?
Yeah, that's no, that's too new, but
same color.
Yeah, similar
Amazing.
to Petrie.
Nikki Hastings is not only Paul's wife, she's our director this evening, or this morning.
Yeah.
This evening, it's this morning. It's still morning. It feels like evening, but in the best possible way.
Yeah. So again, thank you to Help Fill a Dream with Light 'em Up. That was fantastic. And now it's time for another great group, the Fallon Daff Association of Vancouver. They hope to bring the best traditional Chinese culture to our local communities, promoting cultural awareness while offering audiences a look at the wonderful Chinese mind-body practice.
Yeah, that's right. Fallon Daff has practiced in over 100 countries and has brought mental health benefits to millions of people around the world. And they've got a marching band here with them. In front of the float, the Tiangao Marching Band performing powerful Chinese marching music, as well as Western-style marching music in the spirit of demonstrating the goodness of Falun Dafa. Let's have a listen.
Hello and welcome back to the 125th Thrifty Foods Victoria Day Parade. Still with the Falun Dafa Association of Vancouver. We just went to break on the Tiangao Marching Band performing powerful Chinese marching music and Western-style marching music in the spirit of coming together. It is so cool with the principles of truthfulness, compassion, and tolerance. Just beautiful.
Absolutely, and on the float we saw a Falun Gong practitioner demonstrating the peaceful Falun Dafa sitting meditation, but here we have the exercise demo team demonstrating the Falun Dafa standing exercises. And I think we also have a Chinese drum team involved too, and boy, what a wonderful contingent. Yeah, there's the dynamic drum team playing their waist drums and tang drums and doing a dance step as they walk. That's multi-talented.
Yeah, I can't
even walk and chew gum at the same time.
Fantastic. Thank you to the Falun Dafa Association of Vancouver. Just beautiful. And speaking of beautiful, we got a big, beautiful bathtub from the Loyal Nanaimo Bathtub Society. Every year since 1967, the people of Nanaimo have hosted an epic ocean race known as the World Championship Bathtub Race, where tubbers unite.
Yeah, they do, and we saw some bubbles floating by. I wondered if it was from the big tub and a big bubble bath.
Rub-a-dub-dub.
Rub-a-dub-dub. Upwards of 50 racing bathtubs race approximately 60 kilometers from Nanaimo Harbor to Entrance Island, and then Winchelsea Island near Nanoose, and then back to Nanaimo Harbor. It's quite a bone-crushing journey.
That is a big tub, too. So this year's bathtub weekend festivities take place Friday, July 25th, Sunday, July 27th. I'm sure that thing could almost double as a BC ferry if you needed it to, but right now it's celebrating the Nanaimo Bathtub Society. And right now, let's go to the West Coast Rhythmic Gymnastics Club, and they've really decked out this truck, looking good.
Oh, yeah, I like the blingy fringes there.
The blingy fringes.
Yes, blingy fringes, and we've got some hoops going on, doing some rhythmic gymnastics. Of course, a nonprofit club offering rhythmic gymnastic classes for children and youth in the Victoria area for the last 40 years. They've got a long history here, and their coaches are so great. They help the students build strength and flexibility, coordination, movement, expression, and confidence through all their structured progressive gymnastics, and it's fun.
It is fun.
Too.
Maybe I need to start doing gymnastics. I need all of those things.
I can see you working a hoop there, Paul.
Yeah, I don't know if I could pull off even a handstand or a cartwheel, but these guys and girls certainly can. So thank you to this amazing team. Or the hula hoop. The hula hoop, how long could you keep a hula hoop going for?
Like 0 seconds.
Yeah, I was always so bad at it. Okay.
I don't, and I've got sizable hips. I would have figured that I'd be able to keep that thing rolling around there, but no.
Oh, that's impressive. The
wow.
handstand walk. Yeah, no, very impressive stuff. West Coast Rhythmic Gymnastics Club looking fantastic as always. And behind that group, I'm not sure. I believe we have Pacific View windows.
I think that's a pretty good
yes,
bet.
It is.
Yes.
Okay.
Your eyesight's a lot younger than mine, Paul, so I'm going to trust you on this one.
I'm trying to do this in hula hoop at the same time. It's tough.
It is tough. And, you know, we're getting through the parade. We've seen so many great entries and bands and cultural groups. I think maybe it's one of the best ever. Going in, we knew that we had a large number of entries, 95 to 100, and they have not disappointed this year.
No, and each one brings such a unique and fun perspective. So it is so fun, and it's fun that we've been having for 125 years. Let's take a look back on some parades past with another Helijet marching moment.
Now for your marching moment, brought to you by Helijet. In 1948, men from the USS Carmack led the Victoria Day Parade up Yates Street. The destroyer Minesweeper had docked in the Inner Harbor the previous day, just in time for all the festivities.
Well, it's a don't want to miss event.
It is.
Right?
You can't miss it.
You can't miss it. And you can't miss this either. It's the Woodbox Records and the House of Music Society. We met them a little earlier this morning before the parade even started. Daniel Laps, of course, the man who spearheaded this great group, started just last year in 2024 and promotes a 150-year fiddle tradition here in BC. And Daniel Lapp was born in BC, of course, and he spent 5 decades touring as a musician and teacher. Let's have a listen.
That's sounding good. The Woodbox Records and the House of Music Society. They got the big violin on top of the car. And you mentioned since 1989, Daniel's collected more than 3,000 original BC fiddle compositions by more than 300 composers. So he is dialed in when it comes to all things fiddle.
And of course, put her in the woodbox is an old expression from the Canadian prairies, told to Daniel by the late 7-time BC fiddle champ, Bob Montgomery.
Put her in the woodbox.
Put her in the woodbox. And I think we saw some Victoria Spartans football players. Of course, football is a great long tradition here on Vancouver Island as well. And many football fans getting geared up to watch that BC Lions game this afternoon.
Right, I know you're one of them,
Stadium
right?
in Langford. Yeah, I'll be busting out of here and headed directly to Langford for that exhibition game against the Calgary Stampeders. Super fun. That's Victoria Spartans that we saw a little bit. They're rebuilding stronger than ever this year with full Atom and Junior Bantam squads.
Beyond their weekly practices and games, they host free spring clinics. They're planning multi-day camps this summer for kids aged 6 to 14, introducing football to new families in Greater Victoria. It is a great game to learn. I wish I learned it at a younger age because I still can't really throw a spiral, but these kids can. It's really cool. It teaches them a lot of skills. So go Spartans, go. And it's time now for Ingraham High School.
Absolutely. They are the longest participating band in Victoria Day Parade history from Seattle. The Rams so proud to represent Ingraham High School once again in the parade. They set the longest continuous streak performing in the parade for 52 consecutive years. Without further ado, let's have a listen to the Ingraham High School Band.
Yeah, sounding good. Now, you mentioned they were in the parade 52 consecutive years. It was broken in 2012, but now they perform every other year. So 55 years. Thank you to the great Ingram High School Band.
And their mascot, Sturgis.
Oh, yes, you can't. I'm sorry, Sturgis. My apologies.
Amazing. So great.
Shiny
and of course,
tuba.
you know what? A shout out to all the support groups for the band. Like you see the band in their resplendent costumes and they're marching down the parade route. But what you may not see on camera is all the parents that are walking alongside, that are carrying the bags, carrying the backpacks. They do so much work, and they're such a great support network around all those great bands that come up here and visit us on Victoria Day.
They do.
And all right, Jeff King is on the parade route, continues to be on the parade route in the thick of everything. Jeff, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm up here on one of the most impressive floats here each and every year. Rob Gailey, his dad's in beside him. Gailey Farms, of course, so well known in our community. And Rob, you have something new this summer, a new train.
Yeah, actually, we're bringing back the summer corn maze and train for the first time in 10 years. We're going to run for the month of August, close for September, and reopen in October.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Talk about farming tourism and how important it is, especially for you, but in our community.
Yeah, you know, the support we get here in Victoria is so great, keeps us growing, and started eating strawberries the last couple of days. We're hoping to be open by next weekend.
Yeah, talk about that. And then lastly, how much fun is it? I mean, I know it's a lot of work, but you enjoy putting this float together for the Christmas parade and Victoria Day parade each and every year.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We got such a great team. Ron Bassey from CSTT pulling these trucks, and all the team. It takes a lot of work to put these together.
Yeah, it's a labor of love, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a labor of love, and we love the people, the community. We love the spirit, and it's great to see everyone out today.
All right, I'm coming out to get a basket of strawberries next week.
Oh yeah, hopefully we should be open by Saturday.
All right. Rob Gailey, you guys, an important part of this parade, and one of the most extensive and most decorated floats in the parade each and every year. I should end with this. How many years in the parade for you guys, Rob?
Oh, 25 plus I've been doing this. Yeah, many parades every year.
Awesome. All right, guys, we'll throw it back to you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jeff. Great stuff there. The Gailey Farms float is always one to behold. And just before we saw the Gailey Farms float, I want to give a shout out to Funding for Life Society, helping people who can't afford their medical expenses pay for them. So fantastic stuff from them. And Gailey Farms, this thing 70 foot long, the BC wildlife theme. And it's beautiful because they've got kind of a ton of people involved in this, but also involved in the parade as well.
Absolutely. We've got the Stages Dance Company. You can see members there in their red jackets are on that float. They're always involved.
Hi, buddy.
So cute.
Cool.
It's really, I look at that float and I'm just in awe at the number of hours spent creating those floats every year. I mean, they have different themes every so often. The Egypt theme float, you can still see that one on site.
That's right, it's still on their property.
It's still there, and as Rob mentioned, the corn maze is going to be open August 1st, and they're going to have train Thursday and Sunday, all weekends in August, so that's going to be a real must-see for folks if they're looking for something to do this summer.
Okay, this is a fun one. So this is Adrenaline Zip Line Adventure Tour. So the float is the theme of forest with green vines, pine cones hanging from the Dodge truck. You can see a lot of the members wearing the helmets. Well, there are staff members, so they're uniforms, and then they also have their signature Adrenaline helmets. And who's that do we see here? But that is Sook Squatch.
Oh, I thought that was Ed for a minute.
Oh, yeah. No, he's not that tall.
No, that's true.
But yeah, local Sook Squatch is joining the fun, handing out candies. But that is Sook's answer to Sasquatch, and I love it.
Oh, it's so good. Adrenaline bringing back parade fun after a few years of not taking part. But they're back, and we're so glad they're here. There have been lots of changes on site with some of the new construction out of Highway 14, right in that part of the world there for them. So they've had to rejig things, but it's bigger and better than ever. They've added a 2,400-foot zip line where zippers can soar up to speeds of 70 kilometers an hour. Now, Paul, you're a bit of a daredevil.
Yes.
You'd be into that, right?
I'd definitely be into it, but yeah, I'm not sure about the zip line. Because if you just dangle there, there's nowhere to go. But no, it is cool. They do have lots of safety precautions in place. So thanks to Adrenaline Zip Line Adventure Tours for coming back. And now we've got Bluebird cabs, of course. serving Greater Victoria since 1946.
Yeah, you bet. They were established in 1946, as you mentioned, Paul, by 10 World War II vets.
Wow.
Second World War veterans. Their fleet has grown from 5 cars to the current fleet of 136 vehicles, including 13 wheelchair-accessible vans. They remain locally owned and operated, and they have eco-friendly EV and hybrid vehicles. And hey, I recognize these folks.
There,
wow.
yes, Joe Perkins and Chadis Leo leading our CHEK Media Group contingent, and also a few members of the George J. Elementary School in the Heroes Hockey Program, and that's our theme this year.
It is. Oh, yeah, we love this place, and we're supporting local, eh? We've got the hockey sticks out there, and a shout-out to Ron Menard and Jason Zakolowski, who built that amazing hockey stick that is perched on top of that vehicle.
It is so cool. So, yeah, we've been employee-owned for 16 years. We are so proud. So let's throw things over to one of our first-line centers, Jeff King.
Yeah, and I'm here with the island's biggest hoser, Ed Bain, right now.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about this parade and getting a chance to walk this parade. Pretty cool.
You know, this has been an outstanding parade again from a crowd standpoint, particularly. I mean, we've got it packed all the way back to the marshalling area there. Yeah. Everybody's talked about how grateful they are that the rain held off. And I've been accepting payments for that all the way down the parade route.
Well,
so far, I got $8.
Well, I need half of it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're so proud to be part of this parade. And Stacey and Paul have done such a great job. We saw Chadis Leo and our fearless leader, Joe Perkins. Jessica McCool does a lot of the work here for us. You almost high-sticked me a little while ago. Talk about this parade, how fun it is.
I've almost taken Ed out. Like, how many times with this hockey stick? Like,
that's 8.
Okay, there's Quinn, our good buddy Quinn.
Busting the hip in there.
And the hip, and then lastly, I just want to give a shout out to the man that makes it all happen for us, Rob Germain, our general manager. Talk about us being in this parade, Rob, and the importance.
Oh, 125th parade, CHEK's 68th year broadcasting the parade. It's a tradition. We got to keep it going.
And we're giving it 110%. Just add one more
and he's wearing no visor either, this hoser. So,
that's right.
Elbows up. Okay, thanks, Rob. And I'm going to sign it off from the roving reporter point of view, from Ed Bain and myself and all of us at CHEK. How proud we are to be part of this parade. Thanks for watching us, and
thanks,
still
everybody.
A few floats left.
Yeah, lots to come here yet, so enjoy what's left of the 125th terrific Victoria Day Parade.
Pucks in deep, guys. Good stuff. We'll catch you again for 126.
Yeah, you're leaving it all on the asphalt tonight, guys. We really appreciate it. Thanks for everything you do, and great job, everybody who's walking with the CHEK contingent tonight. We are just so proud to be part of this community, to be part of this great company, and happy to be here. 68 years broadcasting this parade. That's amazing.
It is such an honor to be that. And just behind the CHEK Media Group, we had the Indigenous Roots Coffee Co. They're in gift and specialty stores. You can order online, but it's such a cool story. The idea for Indigenous Roots Coffee grew out of love for delicious coffee and love of community. And I would say love of community is really shining through. On a day where it was fighting for some sunshine, it was that love and that community that really came through today, isn't it?
Really, it was, and that was the highlight for me, undoubtedly. Even though, you know, the marching bands were a close second, and the historical entries, as well as some great businesses and our great sponsors. One last time, Dodds Furniture and Mattress, Thrifty Foods, Downtown Dental Victoria. We've got Totem Towing and Sunbelt, and Joan Wallace as well, and Helijet. We couldn't have done it without all of our great partners in bringing you this parade. And again, before we sign off, Paul, on the 125th, a shout out to our great crew here from CHEK on location here. They've been here since 4:35 this morning, and our great crew back at the station. We couldn't have done it without you.
You know, there's Marcus up there in the bucket truck. He's wearing his helmet, all safety geared up and looking great. Okay, Stace, as we wrap up here, your favorite moment. Maybe give me 2 or 3 your favorite moments from the parade.
I knew you were going to put me on the spot here. I really liked, well, again, as we've mentioned, the Filipino contingent, I think, was the highlight for me for a lot of complicated reasons, and we really appreciate and value their presence here, perhaps this year more than ever. So thank you for that. And you know what? I loved all the high school bands. I really do. All of them. I couldn't pick one favorite over the other. They're one of my favorite parts of the parade. How about you?
Yeah, from all the local bands to the bands that we're visiting, I think all of them. But yes, our team is stopping the wind. They are definitely MVPs, but just the community. The community and the culture that we get to celebrate here on Vancouver Island. It's such an honor to be a part of it. It's an honor to do this with you. So thanks for having me again.
Right back at you.
All right.
How about you and I next year? Same time, same place?
Yeah, same time, same place, 126. We'll be ready to go.
And we hope you will join us. Thanks so much for being with us this morning from beautiful downtown Victoria and the Thrifty Foods 125th Victoria Day Parade. On behalf of Paul, myself, and the whole crew, enjoy the rest of your day. And thanks so much for being with us. Take care.
Happy Victoria Day.